The last
We can do
class,
it now,
the
sir.
last class, yes, the last class we stopped at naming giving names for clarity. So let me just jump there. I've already taught you some basic. So what we're going to do today, we're going to try to finish some basic things you need, all right, to know in Excel. Then if there's time, enough time, then you can now move on to data cleaning today. But if there's no time, then during the course of the week, probably maybe on Thursday, we can pick a day, maybe on Thursday evening, all right, maybe 9 o'clock. All right, we can now maybe do data cleaning because we don't have a luxury of time to cover this course. We have Power BI that's there, so we have not even touched it. So we are just going to do what we can do today. Let's see, because you need the knowledge of Excel to be able to function very well. Like I told you, all right, and when I was introducing the course to you, that Excel is different from Power BI. All right. And Excel itself, the knowledge of Excel, all right, is different from, you know, data analysis. Excel is only a tool used for data analysis. You can do so many things with Excel. Basically, Excel can be used for data entry, and there's so many ways, so many skills, so many things that you can know using Excel, all right, for data entry. But no, we are not stopping there, all right, because that's not our target. Our target is not to learn Excel. If I'm teaching you just Excel now, then you can learn so many things in Excel. Okay, but I'm teaching you now data analysis using Excel for this part of the you know of the course. All right, using Excel. So I will not teach you everything that Excel has to offer. Okay, but I will take you to a good place. All right, where I mean you can understand and know how to use basic things in Excel, so that when you are doing your data analysis process, you will not be questioning, oh, how did am I going to do this? How do I get here? How do I do this? All right, because you don't understand the basic things. So that's why we taught, the last class I was teaching you about so many terminologies, workbook. I was teaching you about worksheets. I taught you about cell. I taught you about the row column and all those things. All those are basic things that you need to know, because in the long run, you use this, you'll be using these things every time. Right? Yeah, and if we don't give you the introduction, if we don't give you the basic knowledge about these things, you will not be able to, the small things now will not be look so difficult, because when we are using these terminologies, oh, cell reference, like you'll be thinking, what's cell reference? What is he saying? What's he talking about? All right, so you're not able to catch up with the class because you don't understand, you know, these these things. So that's why we are learning Excel basically. All right. And if you have a very good knowledge of Excel, you'll be able to do some analysis. But Excel is not the focus. All right. Excel is never the focus. Okay. Excel is a tool that can be used for analysis. Okay. But I mean, if you are going advanced, then you now start talking about Power BI, SQL. Yeah. So we are talking about those stuff, used for proper data analysis. So while Excel can be used for data analysis, all right, they are not actually, it's not actually the main tool. But of course, when you're working with Power BI, you need to get data from Excel. All right. Your source, Excel can be a source of, getting data into Power BI. SQL can be a source. You can get many data into Power BI, all right, from different sources. So that's why the knowledge of Excel is very important. Okay. And of course, when you're working in a company, collaborating together, you work with Excel. Okay. Maybe you are working on a particular sheet, a particular report. It's Excel you're going to use to work on that particular report. And if you're collaborating together, all right, as a team, whatever edit you're doing, what update you are doing, is updating live and everybody's seeing it, what you're doing. So having the knowledge of Excel will help you, to be able to work to function, in that light. Okay, so that's what we're doing. So let's just move forward. I've already showed us a lot of things. Let us go to where we stopped the last class. For those of us those of us on the island, the last class that we had, I think I had issue with my system connecting to the screen, and we're trying to do some stuff, and I think we stopped a particular place, and I think we're trying um to reference a table name. We're trying to reference a table name, and the table name was just, it was giving us an error and all that. Okay, so the reason why it was giving us an error was because of an array, because of the version of Excel that we're using. It was an old version. Okay, so if you're using Excel 2016 down, you have a limited functionality. Okay, if you're using latest Excel 2021, 2019 is like more like a tweak, all right, a little update on 2016. But 2021 is like a different, version of Excel entirely. All right. 2019 is more like an upgrade on 2016, but 2020, 2021 and above, Microsoft 365 and all those one, they give you a lot of functionalities. For instance, for Microsoft 2016, except 2016, you don't have functions like unique. All right, unique function is not there. All right. But in 2021 is there, and you need these unique functions. The filter functions are not there. You need all these functions now to be able to do advanced things when it comes to, Excel. So if the version of Excel you are using is old, I have two systems right here. All right. The one with Excel 2021. All right. And another one with Excel 2016. So what I was trying to do the last time, I'm just going to do the example for us so that we can see. All right. I'm just going to give us a little example so we can see what we're trying to do the last time in the last class. So we'll get there. So let me just quickly move and do like I've not gotten here. Who's typing on the screen. So naming for clarity and control. All right, that's where we stop for both classes, and we give us quizzes to do. I believe most of us have submitted, and they have received their scores. Okay, so we mentioned that, all right, we need to name, okay, when you are working with many things. You're working, you can name a cell, you can name a table, you can name pivot table, you can name charts, okay, when you're working with a cell. Okay, because it's very important when you want to start doing some aggregations. For instance, you want to use the pivot table. Okay, when you have your name well organized, it becomes easy for you to, you know, to connect tables together. All right, interactive tables. It becomes easy for you to connect. But when they're not named and you want to do the joining, it becomes very difficult for you to do that. So the naming is very important. And tell you about naming of ranges, which is very important for us. Okay. So we should know that. Now to name range, all right, which I show you. A name range refers to a group of cells. Okay, and it is especially useful for formulas, charts, data validation. Okay, so like I said, so what I'm going to do quickly, where we stopped the last class, I'm just going to, for the island group, all right, we're trying to do something. So let me just show you the other version of Excel. Let me show you that, the 2016, and see, just in case you're using the older version. So when you encounter such things, you just know what to do. All right, so on my own system, okay, I mean, where I'm using to project now. So let me do it. Okay, let me share that particular screen for you to see. Okay, let me just take it here. But I guess you can see my screen currently.
Yes, sir. Yes,
All
sir.
right.
Yes, sir.
So what was I trying to do in the last class? All right. After setting up the table and naming the table. All right. Let's check if this table is named actually. So all right, click here. Then I told you how to name table. All right. So the moment you set up a table, you have an extra tab at the top. All right. The table design. in older versions, you just see design. Okay, you will not see table design. Yeah, from there you can come to the left, extreme left, you see table name. So we can name this. We can just give this another name. Let's say and I told you how to name, right? That you use the underscore. Okay, when you want to have you want to write two names. Okay, so that's it. So we have sysrep. So what I was doing in the last class was this. So if I do equal to, okay, if I do equal to, I want to bring that table again. I want to reference that table.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Okay, are you the only one? Can you the only one? Can every other person hear me?
We can hear you, sir.
We can hear you, sir.
Yes, sir. I can hear you, sir.
Mr. Monday, I think you have to work on your, I don't know, your volume
We
or
can
something.
hear you, sir.
I can hear you, sir.
All right, let's go ahead. Mr. Monday, please work on your, I don't know, your device that you're using to connect, all right? Or use an headset or earpiece. All right, so we did an equal to, and now I want to bring up this, we want to reference this table again. So what are we going to do? It's just to write the table name equal to what's the table name? Sysrep. So as you're typing, you can see it says already suggesting it because we have already saved it, right? As a name right there. So when I click the tab, you can see automatically it's there. So when I click enter, you can see it has brought up the table, all right? The range of the table for me, as you can see right here, because we named it, so automatically it brought it. But when we're trying the last class, it didn't work because we're using an older version. Okay, we're using an older version of Excel, so that's the reason why it didn't work. Okay, right now, so let me just send this file to the system. All right, so that I can open it from the other system that has SNS 2016. So we can see what I'm talking about. So I just want to show you. So just in case you have a lower version, it is better if you can get the latest version of Excel 2021. If you don't have the latest version, you can reach out to your team lead. All right. I don't know. I can send a link. I can upload it online and send a link and a way to install it on your device because it will actually help you better than using the old version. All right, because the latest version I'm using to, to teach right here. So, but if you're using the old version, you can still, have your way around, but it's very difficult. You don't have that fluidity, all right? As you should when you're using the recent version. So some persons are complaining that the page is full. Are you receiving I don't know, are you trying to join and you're not able to join? Is anybody expressing something like that? Is anyone experiencing like you're trying to join or any of your team members trying to join and they're unable to join?
No, sir.
Okay, because I just got a call now that some persons are trying to join, but they are unable to join.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, so what's the prompt? What's it saying?
Some persons want to join, but they cannot join.
So what's this? What is saying? Are the classes? Is the classes full or something?
Saying the room is filled up. It's saying the Zoom class is filled up.
Oh, oh my God. Oh, okay. We need to go and check the number of participants that's allowed for this class. I need to go and check. I just hope it's not 100.
If I would suggest, can't we use a Telegram because it contains more people than Zoom?
Well, Zoom is a standard platform that we use for our classes, our training. So that's the reason why we cannot just use that. So what I think we have to fix that before the next class, all right, so that we can be able to accommodate more persons.
Sir,
I don't know if that is okay.
sir, can we use Google
We
Classroom?
could use
What do you say?
exactly.
Why don't we
We
use
use
Google
We
Classroom?
could use Google.
Yeah, so like I said, Zoom is our standard platform that we use, okay, for our recording. So that's why I said before the next class, I must have fixed that. Maybe the submission we did could only allow 100%. All right, I need to go and check that. That's what it means. So we can just update that before the next class to accommodate more persons in the class. Is that okay? So, but mind you, the recordings will be made available to us.
I just joined with my second device. Now they can still join.
Okay. The recordings can be made available to us. We made available to us. This recording of today's class we made available to us. All right. So we should not panic. All right. So what I'm going to do now, I think I've sent the file to my other device. So let me share the screen from my other device. So I'll have to stop sharing now. So let me share from my other device. Okay, so that you guys can see. Okay, where is Zoom? So I want to share now from the other device. Okay, can you see it?
Yes.
Yes, we can see it very well now.
So
Yes, you can see, sir.
I'm sharing from my other device. So I'm going to do this. So now this is what happened in the last class. Okay. Protected.
Maybe the people that cannot join from their phone should try using a computer. I think it will help them.
All right. So now look at what we did in the last class for the island group. Okay. The island group, we didn't experience that because we use a system that has the latest version of Excel. For the island group, this is what happened. So we did. Now I'm doing the same thing I did in version 2021, equal to the name of the table, which is sales rep. Okay. When I click enter, you are seeing value. There's an error right there. Do you know why? Because Excel is unable to do this what's called array. All right, we want to reference this particular array. So Excel 2016 cannot reference array, cannot speak the arrays in Excel 2016 and former version. Okay, they are static arrays. They are not dynamic. That means they cannot spill and extend to other cells. So they are static. So for us to successfully do this, so how do we get to do this? For us to successfully do this, we have to first what? We have to select the cells, which is commensurate to the number of cells that the table has. So for instance, now the table has this particular number of cells, okay, from year to year. So we have to select the same thing in another place. So you have to select the size of the range. So when you select the size of the range of the table, so let's just select it, okay? So what we have to do now, we now do equal to the name of the table, which is sales rep. All right, then what you have to do Control Shift Enter. Okay, so we over selected it. That's why you're seeing that ending that's at the bottom right there. I think we're not supposed to select the table header. Okay, so we can go back to do that. We're not supposed to select table header, just the range where we have the values. So you can see that we have 3 columns. We have selected 3 columns and this number of rows right here. So just enter equal to name of the table, sales rep, and just enter tab. You can see Control Shift Enter. So it brings out the same thing, but you can see the process that we have to go through to be able to do this, which is a long process. So we don't need this. We don't need to be doing all this. So if you have a previous version, all right, former version of Excel 2016 downwards, We can be going through all this hassle of doing this, all right, but it's not needed because we need to know how to use array dynamically. So that's what 2021 and above, all right, brings to the table. So it helps us to actually dynamically, reference arrays. For instance, now, like I also told you something, 2016 downwards, there is a unique formula. If I click, you will not see anything like a unique. All right, there's nothing like unique there, which is not good. Unique formula is very important. Unique formula, what the unique formula does, it actually brings the unique value. For instance, now you have 10 names, all right, and we have one name repeating like 3 times, another name repeating like 2 times. So it brings the unique value, removes the duplicate, and brings the unique value. That can help you if you want to create tables, all right? That's what we call dimension table. When we start entering into the core of this analysis, it's what we call dimension table. When you start creating dimension table, you want to create dimension table, you need unique values, all right, that will stand as a primary key. Okay, so you can see that the formula is not available in 2016, which is not that good. All right, we also have the filter formula that can, okay, you can see now this is an array, this is an horizontal array, all right, this is a vertical array, as you can see right here, and this is a range. This range is an array as well. Okay, so this particular Excel doesn't give us the functionality to do that. It doesn't give us the ability to do that. The unique formula is missing. Filter formula is missing. All right, so you will not know this. Okay, you will not know this because maybe you are not used to Excel and doing those many things. But no, as you keep working on this stuff, working every time, you begin to encounter this unique problem. All right, so that's that for naming. All right, so just in case you are trying to do what I'm doing in 2021 that is easy for me, and you're not able to do it where you are thinking, oh, why is this not working? This is the reason why it's not working. All right, that's the reason why it's not working, because the version of Excel you use, it's using a old machine, all right, to work. All right, but the latest version is using the latest machine to work. So we need to know that. Yes, we'll be learning now. We're learning table properly. All right, so we have not learned table and all that. I think that's where we stopped. So we're going to go to our course material and let's learn what table is. Okay, how to create a table and other things that table can do for you, right, when you're working. So why a set table is very important. We should know that why a set table is very important. So we say the set table are not just for formatting ranges, they offer built-in functionalities that make sorting, filtering, referencing, analyzing data faster and more reliable. Tables automatically expand as you add, data, support structural formulas, and integrates, seamlessly with charts and pivot table. I've studied on what type of pivot table is. All right, so we'll go in depth into pivot table later. All right, and to create a table, which you already know, you go to the Insert tab and insert table, or you just press the shortcut Ctrl+T. That will help you to insert a table, all right, to a particular range of data. So what does table do? Automatically filtering. It helps you each column gets a drop down for filtering and for sorting and filtering. All right, so let me go back, all right, to the tables, as you can see right here. So now you can see the tables right there. We have already made this to be a table, all right, as you can see. So let me just change this one from being a table back to a range. Okay, right here. So let me change it to being back to a range. So I can just go to table design and convert to range. There. So it's no more a table, it's a range. Okay, so this is not a table anymore, it's a range. As you can see right here. All right. So you can also do same or something here, just clear the format to make it to be like this. So we just have our table right there. As you can see, our range right there. So this is a range. So if you want to do a table, what do you do? Ctrl+T. When you do Ctrl+T, we ask you that your table has headers. All right. So it's saying I'm copying everything, including that purple stuff that is there. So let me just select this particular range. Okay, and Ctrl+T again. So you can select the range that I selected. So yes, it has header. So you can see right now, we can see the drop down from here. All right. So this one gives you a drop down, but when it was a range, there was no drop down there. So right now, so let me just select this and copy it to the left so you can understand what I'm saying. Okay, let me just paste as values. Let's expand here a little bit. So now you can see right there, all right? This is a range. This is a range. This is also a range right now. This is a range right now because you can see there's no filter icon right there. This is just a range. It's not a table. So you cannot do the things that you can do with a table. Okay. But if let's make this one now a table. So let me select this particular range. All right. And then Control T to make it a table. If my table has header, yes, my table has headers. All right. You can see the difference between this and this. This one now has name, and you can see the filter icon right there. You can see the filter icon right here. You can see the filter icon, as you can see, which here, this other place is just a normal range, doesn't have any filter icon. All right, as you can see right there. So this one will give you the ability to filter your table. For instance, I can filter this table, and let's say I just want to leave people that have 7. So I can deselect all and just leave people that have 7 and click OK. So I'll be able to filter this place because what? This table has filters, but the range doesn't have filters. Okay, so that's how you go about it. Filtering, sorting, you can also sort. Okay, you can see sorting right here, sort largest to small. So let's come back to the names here. We can sort here. Tables can be used for sorting. Let's sort A to Z. All right, you can see that we have sorted now. The names are now in alphabetical order, as you can see right here. So it also gives you the ability to sort. Okay, let's go back to our course material. So renaming a table, of course. All right, not done. Yes, auto filtering. Dynamic expansion, add new rows or columns. Excel includes them in the table automatically. All right, structure reference, use column names in formulas instead of cell reference. So like we see, like the reference that we created that time. Table styles, apply table styles. Of course, table rows, add summary. Okay, can add summary, we can do all those many structures. So renaming a table, I already showed you how to rename a table. Okay, so click anywhere, go to table design, table name, type a new name, sales data, and press enter. Structure reference. Structure reference use the table and column name in formulas. For instance, I can calculate the sum of the amount, all right, just using the table name. Okay, so I can just come to the table. Let me come back here. So let's say I want to calculate just this. I can calculate the amount right here. Okay, so I'm not using sum. You know what we usually do when you want to sum. All right, there's a lady on that attended the island class. She said, "Oh, I want to do sum. You just do sum and all that. You want to do sum, you just do sum." Okay, use the sum formula, open bracket, and we can just sum this particular range. And just sum it. It will bring 79 for you. All right, so we sum a range. In the case of a table, it's not like that. When you want to sum a range, you don't. When you want to sum a particular range, all right, you don't sum it the way you do use the sum formula. Rather, you reference the table to sum it. Okay, so the same thing here. Let's do it here. All right, so this is just the basic sum function. All right, so right here, we're gonna use sum with table reference. Okay, sum with table reference. So what are we going to do right here? So if I do equal to the same sum, but right now I'm not summing like the way I did. I'm not going to drag it down like where I did it. Rather, I'll reference the table. So if I reference the table, what's the name of the table? Name of the table is sales rep. I've even named it. Oh, I'm not sure if I've named this table. All right, so that's why I told you naming is very important. So let's go and name it, please. All right, so let's name it. No, we named it before, but we have to remove it so that I could show you. All right, so let's name it again. It says underscore rep. All right, and enter. So I've named the table right now. So when I come here, I can reference the table, all right, in my calculation. So I want to do sys, all right, sys rep. So when you're writing a formula in Excel, all right, the function in Excel will be suggesting. You can see there's an highlight on a particular all right, name ranged. All right, name range that I'm trying to type. So once I say I light it for you, there's no need to keep typing. So what you do, just hit the tab button. All right, once you hit the tab button on your keyboard, it automatically, completes whatever. If it's a function that is there, or if it's a name range that is there, it just completes it for you, and it's it takes you to the end and asking you for the next thing to do. All right, so what we want to do right now, just want to open. Oh, sorry, we want to do the sum first. So sum, right? Do the sum first, then open the bracket. then you can see it says I already suggested stage red for you. So once you do that, so you now have to use this. Okay, so right now we are looking for which column do we want to sum. Okay, you can see Excel has already suggested the amount column. I mean different columns right here, but it's the amount column that we want to sum. So I can just double click the amount column, all right, and and click enter. So it gives me the same result. So if you look at the formula bar right there, oh, my screen is, I minimize my screen. Let me just make it full. I guess it's better now, right? And let me close this. It's better, right?
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
Okay, so now you can see, if you look at the formula bar, you will see that we have two different, logic right there. All right, two different way that we entered the function right there. All right, but it's giving us the same answer. You can see right here, it's giving us the same answer. This one is just the basic sum. We just sum a particular range, but this, this is what we did. Okay, and it give us a different logic, all right, but the same answer. Okay, so mind you, you see this logic that we use, all right, creating this sum right here. This is what we're using is what we call DAX, data analysis expression. When you start doing Power BI, it's also in Excel, but I would rather teach you in Power BI than teach you in Excel because it's the same thing. But of course, most of your report goes to Power BI. If you're working in an organization or working for people, it goes to Power BI. All right, and from Power BI there, you can, when you're done, you to report, you send it to Power BI server. That's when your bosses and every person can see the reports that you have prepared. Okay, so while we can also do it in Excel, all right, it's better I teach you in Power BI. All right, so you can see this particular logic that you just see here. Is we use it when we are doing, all right, what we call data analysis expression. Okay, data analysis expression. We use it there. Okay, it's a different kind of how would I put it now? Calculation, all right, that you use for data analysis. Okay, it's different from this basic Excel, blah blah blah. Who's writing on screen? John Paul, I think you should remove those things. That I don't know who's doing that. John Paul, are you on the call? Okay, let's proceed. John Paul is not there. I can do it myself. All right, but please, you guys should stop typing on the screen, all right?
Yes, sir.
Stop doing this. I think it's annotation that the person did right there. All right, so that we can just have a smooth meeting and just move on. So don't annotate, all right? Don't annotate. Let me delete it. Okay, so you can see right here, like I said, this is what we're using writing data analysis expression, because data analysis expression have to do with tables. Right, you have to do with tables. When we start doing data analysis, DAX, all right, you have to do with tables. You are working with tables, and when you're working with tables, it's the same logic that applies here that applies there. So having the basic knowledge here, yeah, just going to give you an edge. All right. So what do we do here? We just enter the sum, all right, then the table name, all right, and what we did, we use these square brackets and enter the column, all right. So that's the logic. The what's it called? The expression that you want to do, which is the sum. It can be a count, all right. The expression I want to do, all right, which is the sum. Okay, then what's the next thing? Then the table, what's the name of the table that you want to get the expression from? You put the name of the table. Which column do you want to get the expression from? So you see the expression, the table name, and the column. So the same logic we use when you're doing DAX. So just have this at the back of your mind. So I don't know if we have the time to do DAX, but maybe we can touch it a little bit, all right? When we get to doing DAX, then I can just show you there are many things that we can do with DAX, all right? All right, so this one is called aggregation or a measure. This is a measure, all right? When we start doing DAX, there's called what they call iteration, there's measure. So, but that's the class that's still very fast. So, so you can see, I'm just using this for an example to show us. So we see we have two results, we have two different logic. So in this logic, there's no way it's possible for us to use this DAX expression right here for this range, it's not going to work because this does not have a name. There are just individual cells that have values in them, text values and numerical values. So we can use them, right, for this DAX expression that we can see right here. But because this is already a table, we can use it to write a DAX expression to give us, you know, whatever expression that we're trying to get. For instance, if I want to do a count, we can do a count of this as well, not just a sum. So if I come here and put count, all right, it can also give us the same thing. You can do count here, all right, you know, you can see. So what did he do? He just counts the total number of rows that we have right here. So if you look at it, we have 13 rows, as you can see right here. So he just did a count for us, all right. So that's it. So tables are very important. You can use it to reference and use it to write formulas and all that. Okay, so structure reference, as you can see right here, says data amount. All right, this adds all values in a column, blah blah blah. So mind you, in 2016, like I said, like I don't know, I'm just telling you this, right? But you don't want to use 2016. If you have it, that's good. All right, but you can do better. Maybe your system can only accommodate 2027 or 2013 or 2016. All right, that's okay for you. If you're not able to buy a good system, and that's what you can afford for now to use. Okay, that's fine. All right, but it will give you limited functionality. You will not be able to do so many things. For instance, now you can see this thing I just did here. I don't want to take it to my other system. All right, so let's waste time. We have a lot to do. What I just did right here cannot be done. This reference, all right, structure reference, right, using this DAX, cannot be done in a set 2016. Yes, you cannot get the formula right there. You can only sum the total table, all right, the total range of the table. You cannot sum a particular column. All right, it's still a set 26 does not even give you the functionality to do that, right? That's why I said the 2021 is very important for us.
Yes,
so sorting and filtering, which I just showed you, the sorting and filtering right there. Okay, we can do sorting and filtering, formatting the table. All right, go to table design, table styles. All right, so that's what we have here. So we can actually format this table. So you can see this. I say has already give us a default formatting. So if I come to this table design right here, you can see right here. You can see table styles. So where's my? Okay, let me just take this here. You can see table styles. You can see the table styles right here, right? This is the table styles. Okay, from the table styles here, you can choose many things. You can change any style that you want. You can choose this style, all right, and it will affect your table. So I can choose this style to affect the table. If I choose this style to affect my table, if I come here and I choose this style to affect my table, so all you just need to do is just to select one cell on the table, and you'll be changing this. You can be changing. You can see the styles right here. There's also a drop down that we have right here. Okay, you can just click the drop down and it will show you all the many table styles that we have. You can use this. You can use. You can also do a custom table style. You can see new table style right here. You can do a table style, but right now we're not all about aesthetics and cosmetics. So let's leave that for later things. So I think it's better we understand the concept of how these things work than we're trying to beautify and all those many stuff. We can do beautification later, but let's just understand the concept. So right now, we can see right there, we have the table design. You can do table design right there. Formatting, like I told you, adding a row. So right now, we can also add a row, all right? Add a total row for this. So if we come back here, we can see we can add a total row for this. I think I prefer. Okay, let's just take it back to this one. All right, so we can add the total row right there. We can add the total row. So you can see, if you look at this place, you see total row. So what does this thing do for you? It helps you to aggregate, can help you to count, can help you to sum, aggregate the columns that we have on the table. So if I click total rows right here, let's just watch what happens. Let me select total rows. So right here, you can see 79, as you can see. Right here, you can see 79. Over there, you can see 79 here. You can see that there's 79 here. So this 79 now, because why we said we checked the total row that you can see here, the table style option. We check the total row up here. Right? So we checked it up here. So when we checked it, it automatically brought a total row, a row for us, all right, that we can use to calculate the total row. Okay. So right now, if you look at it very closely, you see that there's a drop down just by the side. all right, of the total row. Look at the drop down right here. Just by the side of the total row, we have a drop down right there. So if I click the drop down, so what this one is doing for us now is doing the sum. So if I click the drop down right here, we can do a count of it. If I do a count, you can see there are 13 rows counts that we can see right there. The same thing we have right here. We have a count of 13 rows right here. So we can see 13 rows, 13 rows. So this one is, we just did this with the formula, but this one this is just part of the table. What I put the type of the formatting that you can do to a table. Okay, so I see the option is already available here when I click the total rows right here. We can also do many things. We can do the max. I want to check the max. All right, that's there too. I can check the mean. I can check the average. You know, can give us the average of all this stuff right there. Okay. So it does not only happen for that. You can also see once I click here. So the reason why I automatically did this, because this is a row that has a numerical value. So you can just easily sum it for us. But you can also go to the other places. You can see right here. You can also do something. You can do a count right here. And it's giving us 13 right here. But we cannot do a sum, because what is it going to sum? There are no figures right there. So that's why you're seeing 0. When I did a sum right now, you're seeing 0 because there are no figures right there for you to sum. So it's doing 0. So I can do none and the thing will just be clear. So just like that, so we can have a sum right here. Now, watch this formula closely. Look at this formula that we have right here. Okay, let me take you back. Let me just take one step at a time. Let me not rush too much. All right, so adding a total row, which I've just showed you right now. So you can use it to do sum, average. You can do a count. Okay, converting a table back to a range. Okay, I think I did not put this in the material, but let me just show you. Okay, now these formulas can be the result of the formulas that we use using the table can be adjustable. For instance, now if I click this last row, okay, where we have an entry right there, and I click tab. When I click the tab key, automatically it provides me with a blank row for me to feed data in. So let me say I feed data like Shegun Johnson, for example. Shegun Johnson lives in Lagos. All right, and his amount is 6. So now I've not clicked enter. Automatically, once I click enter, the table adjusts itself. All these formula that I've done adjust themselves. You see the count formula now will move from 13 to 14. Once I click enter, you can see it has moved. So that's the advantage of using a table in Excel, right? Because it automatically updates itself when you there's maybe add some data to the data set. All right, it automatically update itself when you modify the data. It updates itself when the data set where the table is modified. So right now, if I come here and because this one is count now, if I do sum, we are still going to see the same thing. All right, like we did before. Can have the sum right here, and it will give me the 85. As you can see here, 85, 85. So look at the range. The range does not give me such something. Once I click tab, the range is actually moving right. It's not moving downwards, right? Because a range is not a table. Okay, it's a range. So as I clicking tab, it's moving right. But when I place the cursor here at the last row, okay, and I click tab, what does it do? Instead of moving right, it moves downward and it takes me to the first column so that I can start typing my values. All right, and I cannot type whatever value I want to type there. You know, I can type whatever name I want to type. Fred something, you know, Fred Ken, you know, and I can just say he lives in Benin. Then, you know, its amount is like 5. You know, tables automatically updates, and the formula, you can see the formula here automatically updates. So that's an advantage of using a table. So having the knowledge of table is going to help you a lot when you're doing SQL. The knowledge of table, in fact, the table is used. All right, it's stable. When you're doing what's it called, Power BI, DAX, all right, data modeling is stable that you need for those things. So I want you to understand that. Can we continue?
Yes, sir, we can. Let's go.
All right. So if you have not dropped your full name, your phone number, and your designation on the chat, please kindly do that as we continue the class because we have a lot to cover today. I just want to ensure that I cover everything that has to do with Excel. Then we proceed.
Sorry, sir. Please, are we going to be creating a dashboard today?
I can't hear you clearly. What did you say?
I asked if we are going to be creating a dashboard today.
My brother, dashboard is still far, right? We are not even close. All right, but I'm not going to create a dashboard today. All right. We're just today, like I said, when we started the class, I said today we're going to finish everything that has to do with Excel, the basic things that you need to know, right, on Excel. All right, the basic things. Then in the next class, which we're trying to schedule a class for Thursday, then we're gonna do data cleaning. All right, before you can talk, dashboard is the last thing you do. That's the last thing you, that's data visualization. All right, that's the last thing. So when you're done with the data cleaning, then we'll go to data analysis. From the analysis, then we can start building dashboards. Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. So now let's move to the next thing. The next thing I want to show us, why I don't have it in my material, but I just think it's very important to show us. So let me open my CFI. Okay. So I think it's very important that I show us these things. So what I want to show you now is what we call autofill. All right. What we call autofill. Autofill, custom list, and flash fill. So these things are very important as well. All right. So let's just begin. Now, when you want to start writing something in Excel, let me just start here. I click one, right, and I type one, and I want to autofill this. So once I click this particular cell, you can see this rectangular box at the bottom, right here. You can see the icon, right, the cursor icon, which is here before, has changed to one plus, a tiny plus, a stroke plus, kind of. So when I drag it down, what happens? Okay, it repeats. 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. It repeats. But is that what I want to do? All right. This autofill, this Excel just automatically autofills it. Okay. Is that what I want to do? Is it 1 1 I want to do? All right. So once I click here, you can see this particular option right here. You can see autofill option. So once I click this option, all right, click this option, you can see the other things that I can do. All right. How I can autofill what I just dragged down. So what do I want to do? Do I want to autofill a series? If I want to autofill a series, what does it do for me? Now start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just see. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've autofill a series, as you can see right here. Okay, so what does autofill help us to do? It helps us to quickly feed data. All right, in cells. For example, now you can have January, February, March, and all those many things. All right, it will autofill it for you. Mind you, okay, we'll get there. Let me just take it step by step. Okay, so what did you do here? Initially, we just copied the cell downwards, all right, and it just filled it 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. Okay, but now when we go to the autofill option and we did fill series, you automatically fill the series downward. You can see the other options that we have right there. We see fill formatting only, fill without formatting, flash fill. So we're going to talk about flash fill is the last thing we're going to talk about. All right, so right now, if you look at this, okay, right here, so let me just undo. If I click 2 right here, okay, and I select the first one and I drag down, it overwrites the 2 that we have right there. Okay, why? Because I'm trying to autofill. Okay, it's one cell that I selected and I drag down, it overwrites the other cells. So now I've selected 1, 2. I'm giving a cell a pattern to understand. So once I select these 2 cells like this and I drag down, what do you see? You can see how it's filling it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why? I've given a cell a pattern. Now, this usually happens with numbers. All right. You don't get to see it when you're doing tests and all those many stuff. So I've given a cell something to work with. 1, 2, 3, 4. Why? Because what? I gave him a pattern, an example. Okay. 1. Look at this. 1, 2. So I'm telling you, okay, the next thing should be 3. But if I select these 2 alone and I just drag down, it repeats 2. So what am I doing? I click 1, 2, all right, and I drag, select 2 of them, select both cells, and I hold, all right, and I drag 2 of them down. It, autofills it with the numbers. So like I said, it happens with numbers. It's like I said, Excel understands the pattern. So when I click 1 and I come here and I click 3, let's say I click 4, and let's see what happens. And I select 2 of them and I drag down what happens? Do you know what's happening right here? what is happening right here? I say understand the pattern that there are three, right, numbers in between, all right, in between both numbers. So 1 here, if you add 3 to 1, it give you 4. If you add 3 to 4, it gives you 7. If you add 3 to 7, it gives you 10. So what I only did, I only just gave an example that, so I'm telling you, follow this pattern, all right? So I did this right here, and I drag downwards, and you can see how Excel automatically autofills it for me. I can click this autofill option, and what do I want to do? You can see right now, automatically, you can see series is filled. You can see fill series automatically. It's not copy cell this time, it's fill series. Why? Because I selected 2 cells, all right? And I've already given Excel an example to work with. So it becomes very easy for Excel to do that right now. Okay, so let's move formatting. So let me select 2 of these and just come here, and let me just add an underground color, this. So right here, let me just change this to 2. I believe you understand the logic already. Okay, so right here, if I select these 2 and I drag down, what happened? It selects everything. Okay, so I can come here and I do fill formatting only. All right, if I do fill formatting only, see what happens right here. The values does not exist. It's only the format. What's the format? The format is the background color that I placed on the cell. So that's what you're seeing right there. If you click the widgets again, all right, you see fill without formatting. So you can see now that Excel, did the calculation, all right, the numerical calculation according to the pattern and the example that I've given to it. All right, you did the numerical calculation and follow the pattern downwards. But you can see that the format didn't copy it down, because what did I do? Fill without formatting. So there's no formatting right there. We'll come to flash fill later on. All right, so I just want you to understand this. Okay, this is how Excel works. All right, so let's just move on to next, because I already have all this solved right here. So this is first. All right, this is first. Is it understood, guys? Can I continue? Am I too fast? I'm too fast?
No, you're not.
All right. All right. So let's just continue. So like you can see the first right here. So if I place the cursor there and I come to the end right here and I drag, what happened? You're seeing first, second, third, fourth, fifth. It is actually, Excel is actually seeing the number that is there to what? To increase, right? The value, as you can see right there. First, second, third. So Excel can understand the pattern that I see. Oh, first. So when you see first, what's the next thing is second? What's the next thing is third? So these are just the basic things that we see, all right, in everyday use. All right, these are common integers, things that we see that in our everyday use, day-to-day use, when we are doing anything that's regarding data filling, form filling, and all that. So you can easily identify that pattern, first, second, third. Then this is Monday, and I click Monday, all right, and I drag downwards. Okay, so what are you seeing? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday. Now, if I come to this widget, as you can see at the bottom right, we can see that it's quite different from when we are doing 1, 2, 3, 4, and other stuff. You now see something. You can, while you have those things that we have for when we're doing the numbering, just 1, 2, 3, and all that. All right, we don't have other options. Feed days. So if I feed days alone, it removes the weekends. All right, for instance, okay, I mean, few weekdays, it removed the weekends. So if I do few weekdays, so you can see what happened. It has changed. You can see Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Then it starts again Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. All right. If I go few days, you see Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It feels for the whole week, but I can feel for weekdays alone. Is you understood? Can we proceed?
Yes, sir, we can.
Now, Excel understands this pattern, all right, because this pattern is in Excel's memory. That's the reason why we can do such a thing like that. It's in Excel's memory. Excel has it in his memory. Just like when you have something saved on your phone and somebody say, please, I need this thing to be like this. Automatically, you can just send it to the person. Why? Because you have it saved in your phone. All right. But if you don't have let's say a particular picture saved in your phone, the person say, please send it to me. You will not be able to send because it's not saved in your phone. All right. So now if I come to Q1, Excel also have this in the memory and understands that there's Q1, Q2, and a year has how many quarters? 4 quarters. So let's just drag down and see the same thing. All right, so we see Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. When you get to Q4, it starts again. It's not going to Q5, Q6, Q7. It starts again from Q1 because he understands that a year only has 4 quarters. All right, so notice, all right, it's very important. This is in Excel memory. Excel understand this pattern because it's commonly used, all right, in the word. All right, so we now have Jan right here. So Excel also understand this pattern, and the pattern is in Excel's memory. So once I drag down, so you see January, Jan, Feb, April, May, June, just like that. All right, in that particular format. When I go to January and I drag down, all right, you see there, January, February, March, April, May, and so on. All right, so median, high, median, and low. So now you're expecting when I put high. All right, so let me just come here and do high. All right, so you're expecting when I put high, you're able to see, and I drag down, you're able to see median and low. Is that correct? But we are not seeing median and low. Why are we not seeing median and low? We are not seeing median and low. Godwin, please stop writing on the screen. Godwin, please stop writing on the screen. All right. John Paul, are you on the call? John Paul, are you on the call? Is John Paul here?
I don't think John Paul is on.
Okay. Who else is a team lead? I don't know all of your name, right? I've not really had time to mingle with you guys. So, who else is the team lead? Who's the team lead assistant? That's what's her name? Chidebere or something? Chidebere, are you on the call?
Yes, I'm
Chidebere.
here. Chidera,
So,
sir.
all right. So Chidera, all right. So I want to make you a co-host. Please, when you see this, people are making noise, most of them. When you see someone right on the screen, just go to annotate. Go to annotate and delete. All right, just delete whatever that is, clear everything that is on screen. So I'm gonna make you a co-host right now so that you can simply do that for us. All right, Chidebere, please can you just speak again so that I can locate you? Just speak up, all right?
I'm here, sir.
All right, you are Daniel. Daniel.
Yes, sir.
All right, so let me just make you the co-host. All right, so once please, you see these writings on the screen, just go to annotate. All right, go to annotate and you see clear drawings. You see delete icon and clear drawings. You don't clear it from there. All right, so like I said, what I did here, let me just undo. You can see I do high. You're expecting to see after high, you see medium, you see low, right? That's the pattern we all know in life, like our day-to-day use of data and filling forms and all those many things. But the reason why I say it's not bringing this thing out because Excel doesn't have this in its memory. It does not understand this pattern. Do you understand? Like I was saying, you have something in your memory, you have something in your phone, you have a song in your device. You can easily bring up the song out again because it's in your phone's memory. So you understand it and it can bring it out for you. All right. So Excel does not understand this. So how do we make Excel to understand this? There's such a thing called custom list. That means to say you now have to add this custom list to Excel's memory. So when Excel has it in his memory, so Excel will be able to bring out it. So you can see I've dragged I. It's not changing to medium. It's not changing to low because Excel does not have it in memory. Just I, as you can see right here. But let's go and save it in Excel's memory. This is going to come handy when you're working with pivot table and you're doing some kind of tasks some repeated tasks, all right, that require you writing the same thing over and over again. You just need to store it in Excel's memory. So all you have to do is also drag, and Excel just understands what you're trying to do and follow the pattern, that there is right there. So now how do we add this to the custom list? So if I drag this downwards, all right, you can see this column G right here where my cursor currently is. I think let me just put this kind of cursor that's rebouncing. I think this is okay. So if I drag this right here and I select that particular column right there, just that particular range, what am I going to do? I'm going to go to File right here. Go to File, I'm go to Options. So once I go to Options right here, Excel will open for me. Then I'll go to Advanced. So when I go to Advanced, I'm just going to scroll down. All right. You can see right here, you see Edit. Under the General, you see Edit Custom List. As you can see right here, Edit Custom List. All right, just scroll to the bottom. You now see Edit Custom List. Okay. edit custom list. So once you click edit custom list, it opens the custom list for you. So what do you want to do? I've already selected G1 to G3, as you can see right here. Right, but in the case I've not selected anything, I just, I just go to File, Option, Advanced, Custom List. I can click this arrow here that's facing upwards right here. When I click that arrow, I can come here and select what I want and select it right here. Once I click it, I click this down arrow, it takes me back to the custom lead. What do I have to do? Just click Add. All right, sorry, import. So once I import it, if you look at the custom list that we have right here, what are you seeing right there? You're seeing Sun, Moon, Jan, Feb, and all that, right? You can see right there. So once I click OK, all right, that's already been added to the custom list. So right now, let's go and try something again. Let's go and try something again. Now, so if I come here and I type hi, all right, and I enter I. So now let's drag the I down. Let's drag the I down. So once I drag the I down, so what are you seeing right there? High, medium, low, high, medium, low. When it gets to low, it starts again from I. Why? Because SA now has it in its memory. But if you look at what I did here, what I did here, we just have I when we drag down. Because as at this point of dragging down, SA didn't have it in its memory. So there's nothing that can happen, right? So it's just repeating the same thing that we have right there. But this second point right here, this second stuff we did right here, what happened? SA already had it in its memory, and SA could actually bring it on and for us.
Sorry, sir, can you come again? Sorry, I had a network glitch.
Oh, where did you stop?
Sorry. Where you had to import, where you had to highlight those eyes, you went to was it file, then to custom list. That was where it ended.
All right, okay. Well, don't we are still going, all right? We'll still do more other examples. Other examples are there. Just continue. Let's just continue. You see other examples, right? So right now, want to do the next one right here. We can see A, B, C right now. So let me go. Let's go to here and say A. All right. And A. Let me just click A in this particular CIS and click A right there. All right. So let's drag A down. So what are you seeing? A is repeating itself. A. There's nothing. Let's go to the widget. Let's see if we can do anything. Field formatting. There's nothing we can do right there. All right. Why? Because we're just seeing A, as you can see. All right. A is not a pattern. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. The alphabet is not a pattern that the cell as in its memory. So it's not able to bring it for you. Why? You can use formula to do that. All right. But Excel does not have this in its memory. So it's unable to bring a particular pattern for you. But you can actually have A, B, C, D as a pattern, as a custom list saved. So let's have it as a custom list. All right, so I already showed you how to do that. So how do you do that as custom list? You can either have it here, written out already. So select that particular range that you have written out that you want to make a custom list. There's somebody that's making noise. Please, Chidebere, I think Godwin, Candice. All right, please move the person. So you come to options. All right, when you come to options, you go to advanced. When you get to advanced, then like I said, you just go down, you see custom list. All right, and you click the custom list right there. So we want to add a custom list right there. You can see automatically, because we highlighted that particular range before we went to select the custom list, Excel has automatically identified that particular range. So what we have to do is just to import it. And once we import it, you can see right the custom list right here. All right, you see that at the custom list, where we have custom list right here. All right, you can see the ABC, all right, has been added right here to the custom list, as you can see right there. All right, so what we have to do, we already imported it, just to click OK. All right, just to click OK. So once you click OK, that has been recorded in Excel's memory. Okay, it has been recorded in Excel's memory. So as you can see right here, it's recorded. Now we have here, when we did the first one, nothing happened. Let's try it again. Let's type A and try to drag down this time. Click here and drag down. And what happened? You see, Excel already has it in its memory. So you see A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So like I said, when you're working, this has to do with a lot when you're doing with the data entry. You can also use it. Like I said, these are basic things that you need to know in working with Excel, so that when you start doing the big things, the small things will not be, troubling you. How do I do this? How did he do this? How did I do that? No, you'll be able to do it easily without any stress. Okay. So yeah, that's that. You can see A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Why? Because this is a custom list. So my friend that asked the question, do you understand what we did now? Is the same process?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sorry, where is the option button?
Option button. All right, we are doing the next one. Pay attention, all right? Just pay attention. We're going to do the next one right now. Okay, so let's go again. All right, now you can see yes and no. Does essay have yes and no in its memory? Let's check. So let's click yes. All right, and try to drag this down. What happened? We are saying yes, 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 yes. So if we look at it in a way, essay does not have it in its memory. So if we look at this yes, yes, essay does not have it in its memory. Okay, so what we want to do now, we want to go and create what? A custom list for yes and no. So let's select this. Okay, let's select this particular range, then go to file. All right, when you go to file, go down. All right, you see option. Once you click option, it opens a dialog box for you. That dialog box, this is where you can do anything, the settings, set your Excel. All right, okay. So once you do that, you just go to advanced. So once you go to advanced, what you have to do, you just scroll down. Okay, and come to custom list. So when you get to the custom list, you can see Excel has already identified, the selected range. So what we have to do, we just have to import it. And once we import it, you can see it has been added here. All right, it has been added here. As you can see right here, it has been added to the custom list. You can see the one we did high, medium, low is there. A, B, C, D, E, F, yes and no is there. It has been added. So what we just have to do right now is just to do what? Click OK. All right, and click OK again. Okay, click OK again, and it takes us here. So let's try it yes and no again. Let's just try yes and no. So we click yes. All right, so once we click yes, all right, and let's try to drag it down. And what happened? We see yes and no, 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 yes and no. So this is what autofill custom list. All right, custom list is very important when you're working. You need to know that if you want you are doing a repeated task that you need to be writing the same thing all over and over again, save it as a custom list. It becomes very easy. So we have the satisfied, very satisfied, satisfied, okay, not satisfied. I will send the sheets to you. That is your assignment. You will do that part, all right, and send back to me. All right. So let's not waste too much time. We still have other areas to cover.
Please, quick question.
Yes.
You were saying something on formula that is if there's a way we can do this with this option method and stuff. There's a way we can do it with formula, I think.
Yes, and the formula is very cumbersome, so you shouldn't be troubling yourself with that for now.
Okay.
All right. Yes. Let's not go too far. Okay. When we get to formula, we'll talk some things about formulas. All right. But let's not be too forward. All right. So do you understand how autofill works, how custom list works? Is you understood now?
Yes, sir.
Now, so that's it. Okay. So it does that for you. So another thing you can do, there's also what I didn't tell you, right click. For instance, if I come here and I click yes. All right. So what are we doing? We select we left click, all right, and we drag. You can also right click and drag. So once you right click and drag, nothing will be filled. All right, nothing will be filled. Automatically, what it does for you, it just brings up this pop-up window that you can see here. It brings this pop-up window for you, and it's trying to tell you, okay, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? All right, do you want to fill series? So I want to fill series. And because Excel already has the pattern understood, it automatically fills the series downwards, as you can see right there. All right, so it fills it downwards for us. So I can let's come to another pattern we have established already. Another list we have established, this high here, this high. All right, and let's right. This time we are right clicking, not left clicking, right? Let's right click and drag. So you can see nothing filled down. So Excel is asking me, what do you want to do? Do I want to copy the cells? If I want to copy the cells down, I click copy cell. What do you see? You see the high repeats itself. So we are not copying series down. But if we left click and just drag, it automatically just copy the series according to the custom list that you have set, all right, in Excel memory. But when you right click, it only highlights the particular range you have selected and brings up a custom window. I mean, it brings up the dialog box for you to choose exactly what you want to do, right? And you have to choose what you want to do. Is that clear?
Yes.
All right. Yes, please.
For example, now where you click on yes and no, the one you just finished doing now, yes and no. What if I want to start another one with no? I want it to begin with no, like my first word is no. Like after selecting the yes and no format. But where I
Okay.
want to include
Your
it
first
and
word
not
is no.
yes.
Oh yeah. Should we have? Let's do it now. It's a good question. I love people that are very interactive, and so let's drag now and see what happens. See, it's a pattern that is understood already. So yes.
It works like
Okay.
magic.
Huh? Yes.
All right,
So
thank you so much.
yeah. All right. So the next thing we want to do is flash fill. Okay. Flash fill. Flash fill is very, very important. Flash fill works like it's more like it's an advanced kind of tool. Okay. It's more like AI kind of, AI kind of function, so it automatically, look into the example you have set to it, and replicate and fill down, right? Replicate what you have done downwards. All right, so let's do this. So let me just quickly, let me delete this. All right, so right now, let me just use two names. So let me go to the sheets that I used before, and let's do flash. Let's do a bit of, okay, let me just copy this. Flash fill. So this flash fill. Okay, let me paste that value right here. So look at this particular cell. Let me just add this flash fill and just put it here so that you can understand that this is a header. The align is left. All right, so you can see this particular tool. So what does flash fill do for you? Flash fill, you have to give it an example and it looks into the example you have given to it. All right, and it replicate it in the other rows downwards. So let's do that. Okay. So now we have Abdul. So let's say I want to return just the first name. I want to return just the first name. So what do? I just type Abdul. All right. See Abdul, yeah, Abdul. I type I do. So what do I want to do? So right now, I can drag down. All right. And it's returning Abdul, but okay, let's see the option that's right there. So I click Abdul, a flash fill. So what do you see? Row 1, the first name there is Abdul. Row 2, the first name there is Ayodele. Row 3, the first name there is Chika. Row 4, the first name is. Do you understand what flash fill does now? It helps you in slicing and dicing of data. All right. You can see how it slices data now from full name, first name, and second name. All right. So just one name. Why? Because it gave you an example and it replicates the example downwards. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So yeah, so that's it. You have particular cases though. All right, so now
I
that's
have
it.
a question.
Yes.
What if you delete the flash field column? Oh no, I mean, what if you delete the source of the data is that like that column G? That's the source of the flash field column, right? What if you delete it? Will it affect the column H?
Definitely. Now, what are you looking? You are looking into this column. This column is looking into this column to bring this. All right. So you can see I've already written this one. This one was written by me. But let's have this flash fill right here and do flash fill. And let's come here and let's see what happens. Can you see?
Okay.
Can you see that?
Yes.
So flash fill actually is like doing a duplicate after he has performed the logic, all right, of what replicating rows according to the example you have given to it. It copy and paste it. It's like creating the unique value of on the other side. So, but if it's a formula will automatically be showing you error. For instance, now, all right. For instance, now I can use a formula to separate this one right now. All right. If I separate this one from this, it will now be giving me an error. All right. It will give me an error. Okay, but I don't want to actually bore you guys with what's it called, with formulas right now. Okay, because this is not the time. All right, it's not the time for formulas. Right. Okay, so there's no need to bore you guys with formulas. So column delimiter. So what is delimiter? Delimiter is a space. So let me just enter space. Okay, row delimiter. Okay. The same thing, right? No, empty. Let's see what that brings. So right now you can see I've used a formula to separate the first name and the last name, right?
Yes.
Abdul Ibrahim. All right. So let me delete this one now. You see that the formula will not work again, right? You see reference. Can you see an error? Because I've deleted that column G, right? This was column G. This one was formerly okay, let me just separate this so that you can see the variety. So let me just kindly move this. Shift and U. Okay, just drag it to this place. So you don't mistake. All right, you can see this where the formula is. I just splitted these into two different columns. All right. So now if I delete this column G right here, you see that the formula will be giving you error because it's not seeing anything. All right. But this flash fee is kind of different. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I understand.
Is that clear? All right, so that's a flash fee. And not just first name. Like I said, a flash fee can understand a pattern that you're trying to do. Let's say I want to do an email address. All right, I can create an email address. All right, let's say I want to create something like what's it called? Let me do something like okay, don't necessarily. I can do it here too. Abdul.Ibrahim. That is at gmail.com. I click enter. All right. Okay, so let's drag down. So it's replicating in abdul.com.gmail.com. Then let's use the flash fill right here and use the flash fill. So do you know what the flash fill did now? It understood the pattern that I'm doing. This one, the first name dot, the last name dot, the first name dot, the last name at gmail.com. So it just replicated it all through. Can you see? You understand the pattern. I just gave him an example. So when we are doing Power Query also have this kind of feature. All right, when you give it it's called column by example. All right, when you want to create a new column. The Power Query does not allow you to manually type. You cannot manually type on Power Query. You can only you can add column, right, by formula or stuff. The only time that you can type on Power Query row is when you're using column by example. All right, when you use column by example, you just give the column example what you want to do. Just the same way this one operates, right? Give an example what you want it to do, right? And automatically, once you enter it, it fills down and replicates that example for you. So this is what flash fill does, right? So if you're trying to get the first name out of something, you can use flash fill to do that. Right? Trying to get the last name. Let's say I want to put the last name here, and I type Ibrahim, okay? And I type Ibrahim, okay? And I click okay, let's just drag it down. Let's drag it down. So it's doing Ibrahim. So when I do flash fill, so right here you can see, and I have the first name and I have the last name right here. So I have Abdul and I have Ibrahim right here. Okay. All right, so that's how it works. So now there are peculiar cases, all right, because flash fill is still a feature that is still being developed. All right, even column by example in Power Query is something that's still being developed. All right, so let me just as I'm mentioning it, let me just take you there, but I didn't want to take it to Power Query because you don't understand what it is right now. I mean, not everybody. I know some of you are a bit, advanced, have the knowledge there, but some of us don't understand, what we are doing there. What Power Query. So if we load this one, let's just convert this to a table. Let's convert this to a table. Put C. Let's just convert it to a table and let's load it to Power Query. Power Query is a very powerful, feature or add-in application, whatever inside. So that's why it's taking time to load. So you need a very fast system, right, to do that. Okay. So if you have not added you drop your full name, your phone number, and destination on the chat, please kindly do that. All right, so that we can have your attendance recorded for today's class. Okay, so that's it. That's basically that. All right. So I've taught you about what's it called, autofill. I've taught you about custom lists and taught you about flash fill to help you to easily fill data, all right, automatically without having to be typing manually one after the other. All right. So why are you taking time? Okay. I have to turn on this application. Let's see. Oh. Okay, guys, this is taking a lot of time to load. Okay, let's open this Power Query. All right, for those of you who don't know Power Query, we'll get there. All right, when we start doing data cleaning, I'll introduce properly to what Power Query is. But I just wanted to give you an example with flash fill and what we called column by example. All right, so I just want to give you that. Right, so you can see this is a particular column where we have the names. Then if I come to add column, you see something like columns. Okay, column from example, you can see right here. So if I do column from example, like I said, Power Query does not allow you to manually type data in. It's actually a tool for data manipulation. Okay, for data manipulation, it does not allow you to type. The only time that you can type is using column by example. Inside a row, it's using column by example. So from all columns, selected column. All right, so you can see right here, we can now type. So what do we want to type? Let's type Abdul. All right, let's type Abdul. All right, Abdul. You can see flash fill results. Can you see what's there? Flash fill results. So it's more like a flash fill result. So once I click enter like this, you can see what happened right here. You can see Ayodele, you can see Chika, just the first names that we have right here. You can see everything right here. You can see. Can you see this is test? It's telling you test before the delimiter right here. So this has brought up a new column. So if I click OK, it will add a new column to right there. So you can see another column right here. So we cannot change the header right here and change this one to what? To first name. So the same thing does. This is a flash fill, like a flash fill feature inside Power Query. So they do the same thing. So when we start teaching Power Query, then you see column from example, you should not be asking, what is this column from example? There's custom column, there's all these other columns right there that we can add. When we start teaching Power Query, then we get to touch those ones, right? But this flash fill right inside itself, this flash fill in Power Query. And mind you, this Power Query also is a feature in Power BI. We have the Power application, we have Power Query, we have Power Pivot. Okay. So these are the Power application, all right? They were first an add-in in Excel, but right now, latest Excel, like Excel 2016 above, all right? They are no more an add-in, they are now inbuilt feature of Excel. But before then, I think before 2016, they were add-in. That means you have to go and download it, and there's a way to do it. Now add them in as an add-in, all right, in Excel. But the recent Excel, they are now an inbuilt feature. So these are Power BI application. That's why you can see that the name Power Query, Power BI. So if you understand Power Query here, it's the same thing when you open Power BI, it's the same thing over there. All right, the same user interface, the same settings, the same functionalities, and all that. All right, so just in case you meet yourself in Power BI and you receive a data set that's messy, and you say, oh, how do I separate name from this one? This function is also available in Power BI. Okay, so the same thing right there. So right here, we can just, what we want to do, can load it, can load this table back, right? Can load this to be a table and all that. But we are not teaching, what's it called, Power Query at the moment. So discard. I just wanted to show you that we have it in Power Query. So basically, Power Query is it's an ETL to use for loading. ETL means extract, load, and transform and load. All right. So ETL tools majorly for data transformation, for data cleaning, majorly data cleaning. Majorly, not only data cleaning, but like 70 to 80% data cleaning. That's what they use for our Power Query to do. Okay. All right. So that's that. So there's some exceptions, like I said. So if you look at here, right here, for instance, let me enter Barak. Okay. Let me enter Barak right here. Oh, beg your pardon. Let me enter Barak right here. Okay. And what do we want to do? Like I told you, you can left click and drag down, or you can right click and it bring up a pop-up what you want to do. So let's just right click and what do you want to do? Flash view. Now I want you to watch something closely. All right. I want you to watch something closely. So if you look at this first one, it brings Barak. Look at the second one, it brings George. Look at this third one, it brings this. Look at this fourth one, it brings this, as you can see right here. Now I want to change something, right? Let's undo it and change it to what? To Obama. And let's see what happens right there. So right now, let's just drag and flash fill. Okay. So you see Obama right here. Okay. But if you look at it here, Obama is actually the third name. Walker here, right, is the second name. So if you look at what is happening right here, flash fee is counting this from behind. So right here, you can it's seeing this George, this Walker that he presented here as the second name. But you have Obarak who's saying, so what is supposed to do? It's counting from behind. He counted these two first, then counted Obama. He counted Bush, then counted Walker. That's why you're seeing Walker right here, right? Because this is actually the third name. You're supposed to bring Bush. Is that correct? This is the third name. You're supposed to bring Bush, not Walker. But I'm just telling you how Flashy works, right? Counting from behind, these two here then brings Obama, Bush, then bring Walker, Jefferson, just like that. All right, you can see this George Hudson, Walker, and Bush, right? You can see right here. You can see the Walker, as you can see right here, is counting from behind. That's how Flash works. So, like I said, this feature is still under. I will not call it testing because Flashing has been around for like about 7 years, if not more. All right. So these are the limitations that you can experience when you have multiple stuff like this. All right. You can get to experience things like this. Well, let's see a workaround. Let's see a workaround. Let's see a workaround. Let's see. All right. So type to Obama. Now let me type Bush. All right. I want to give you more things to play with. I want to give him now. Let's type Clinton. Huh? Let's type Clinton. All right, I'm giving more things to play around. So let's flash you and see what happens. So what are we saying? Huh? So now what's the behavior? What is he doing? So we have the Bush right here. He's bringing the third name, Clinton, Bush. So he's bringing Bush. Why is he bringing Bush? He thinks that we are trying to to bring the last name. So that's why he's bringing Walker, he's bringing Bush, Reagan, he's bringing Reagan. For this one that have 4 names, he's bringing the last one. But we actually want the third name. So let's see if we put that there, Clinton, and let's see if we put Walker, and let's see how it's going to behave. Because you're actually teaching him, you're giving him an example so that you can follow. That's why I say it looks like an AI tool, right? You're giving him an example to see if it will follow the pattern that you have set for it. Let's see what happened. Let's flash face. All right, now see Walker, Reagan, right, Wisting. So it's not doing this. It's also starting from behind to Cancer. Can you see from Bush? Can you see this Wisting now? He's bringing this middle one, but we are actually looking at the third name. So you can see the limitation that we have with flash fill. So when you're working with data set or a column that has multiple names, more than three can work, all right? If your column has first name, second name, and other name, the other name just one name, it work. But without having four names, then the thing will be kind of shaky. All right. So that's just understand that.
Question.
Yeah.
This flash field here, when we are selecting, you only selected Walker. So if I want to select, am I supposed to select the 4 as I've typed it, or will I just select just the Walker and it flash field?
No. You don't do everything. You just select the last one.
Okay.
Sometimes you don't need to. Okay, let me show you something. For example, you come here and type Abdul. That's that. Then let me come here and you can see what did I do? Right. I just come here and it's nothing for me. All right. But what did I do? How did I see? I'm not selecting the Abdul right now. The cursor is actually on the next row below it. So what did I do? Control E. That's a shortcut for flash fill. Control E. I just did Control E there and automatically it fills it up. Why I was not even selecting Abdul. Right? But for you to drag anything down, the cursor have to be on the thing that you want to drag down first. You cannot, if you drag an empty cell down. All right. Okay. See, flash fill. So now I want to do this right now. I need to drag it down so I can flash fill it. All right. So I can flash fill it. Then you give me the option right there. All right. So shortcuts is what? Control E. So when you do Control E, okay, takes you down. Okay. Just do Control E. It's automatically flash fill for you. Is that clear? Oof. Can we continue?
Yes,
Yes, yes, sir.
All right, let's go back to our materials. What's the next thing? I want to finish Excel today. Like, I don't want to do this Excel anymore. After today, let's not do Excel again, please. Not that we'll be using Excel for analysis, all right? For data analysis, all right? I mean, teaching the Excel basic. Okay, I don't want to extend the basic from more than today.
Quick question, please, sir.
Yeah.
My network disconnected for like a minute when you started the flash fill. So I just wanted to know, how did you get the flash fill? Like, I get the whole process, but I don't know how I'm going to get, the flash fill so I can do the changes.
How are you going to get the flash fill?
Yeah, like how did you get it before you start doing the changes on the names?
When you drag a table down, all right, it brings, see, look at what we did here, right? When you type the first name, right, you're giving it an example to follow. All right, Abdul. Once you click Abdul, all right, and you drag this bottom left when the plus icon has changed, you can left click or right click. When you left click and drag down, you tend to replicate the name. Then you see this particular widget that we have here at the bottom. All right.
Okay.
So once you click that widget, you see flash fill. You click the flash fill, and it flash fills for you.
Okay, it's automatically there. It's not like you have to go to options or advanced.
I'm just showing what's there. You can see this widget, this option right here.
Yeah.
It's there for you. Another way you can use Control E. Once you do Control E, automatically fills it downward for you.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand. Thank you.
All right. So let's move on to the next thing. Just a minute.
Sorry, can I ask a question?
All right. Tell me.
All right. The flash fill parts, you taught us how to make a table. You taught us how to also make a range. Now the flash fill, how do we make it? How do we tell the Excel that how to make this list a flash fill so that I can copy it in another cell?
Once you are done making your flash fill, then you cannot make it to be a custom list. It's simple now. All right, I've already showed you how to do custom lists. For instance, now, if you have made this flash fill, okay? This is a flash fill right now. We have extracted the first name from the full name, okay? Through flash fill, using flash fill.
I mean, how do you make the first one a flash fill? That's what I mean, not the extraction. I understand the extraction. Talking about how do you make that first one? Yes, because it's looking like there's a drop down beside the flash fill there.
How do I make the first one? You have to type it. That's why I say you have to give it an example. All right? You have to type it manually. You have to give it an example. What do you want to do? Then you look at what you want to do and repeat it. Do you know what I'm saying? Now, for instance, I look at it, I typed Abdul myself manually. Huh? I typed Abdul myself manually. And that's all. All right? I typed Abdul at the first. I'm telling you, please, what I've done, I just only typed the first.
And that's no idea. That's all.
Huh?
Excuse me.
Huh?
Please, if you are not talking, mute your mic, please.
So that's the first thing I did. And, I just dragged down. And you can see the widget right there at the bottom. The widget is always there at the bottom. Then you flash fill and flash fill for you. Do you understand it?
Yeah, thanks. I understand.
Okay. Please, I did this like up to 5-6 times. So I want us to pay attention so that we don't have to be going back and forth. All right. We don't have time. We're supposed to close by 3 and we still have a lot to cover. All right. I just want to finish these basics of Excel so that you know how to walk around and basic things, to know how to do many things, create a table, you understand what a row is, no cell reference, and all those many things. All right. Please, let's pay attention so that we don't get to be doing back and forth and asking questions that we already, treated before. Are you making progress? Hope it's not difficult, right? Are we making progress?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, so let's continue. Yeah. Formulas and cell references. Okay. Oh, okay. Formulas are the engine behind Excel's intelligence. They allow you to perform calculations, automate logic, and link data across cells and sheets, whether you are summing totals, calculating percentage, building financial models. Formulas are essential. Understand how to reference cell correctly, whether relative or absolutely, is key to writing formulas that work consistently and scale efficiently. What is a formula? A formula is an expression that performs a calculation or returns a result. Every formula in a cell begins with an equal sign. I think this part of the question, one of the questions for the first quiz that you wrote, but of course I know a lot of persons already knew that before. So a formula is an expression that performs a calculation and returns a result. Every formula in a cell begins in an equal sign. Okay, so example, A1 plus B1 as the value in cell A1 plus B1. All right, sum A1 to A5 as all values from A1. So this is just a formula, okay? A1 plus B1 is a formula, which and it starts with equal to. So let's just do something there. Okay, so we can see A1, right, plus B1. As you can see right in the formula, this is the formula A1 plus B1 give us 10. So A1 is 8, B1 is 2, and it give us 10. So you can see the output right here. Let me just drag it. So here you can see the output of these two. You can see it's give us 10 right here. Okay, so 8 plus 2 is giving us 10. As you can see, A1 plus B. So the formula is this. The formula is this. This is the formula A1 plus B1 equal to, and every formula must start with equal to. A1 plus B1 gives us this. So as you can see, A1 minus B1 gives us this. That's a formula. Okay, so let's go back to my, let me go back to here. Sum, all right, sum these, add all values from this to this. Formulas can include numbers, 100 plus this can include cell references. All right, a formula can include cell references. A2 plus B2. For example, let me come back to this this operator sheet. A2 plus B2. Let's say we have what do we do here? All right. Okay, a cell reference. Okay, yeah, number, cell reference, yeah, number. So this is a number here, right? So a formula can include a number. So let's just write the formula here. Equal to, I can say 8 plus 2. Okay? 8 plus 2, give me 10. So this is a number. This is a formula that has a number in it. This one is a formula that has a reference, cell reference in it. Huh? So which cell are we referencing? A1 plus B1. It gives us the same answer. Here, we just wrote it here. All right. You know, we just wrote it here. The numbers like that, A1, 8 plus 2 give us 10. But here we reference the cell. So this one is static. This one can change depending on what we have on a particular row. For instance, let's say this row number not change and we have 10 right here. You can see automatically that say E has changed to 12 because actually it's referencing this cell. So whatever we have in this cell is referencing. If you look at the formula bar, as you can see right there, all right, you can see A1. So whatever thing that we have in A1, it will plus it with whatever thing we have in, B1. So this is the number. This is cell referencing. Let's go ahead. All right, it can contain a function, average, and all those many things, sum, all right, an operator. These are operators, A1 plus B1 minus this. So all these are formulas. So there's difference between formula and a function. I think we should have it in this material, but I don't know. Let me just tell you. A function is a predetermined formula. So you see the likes of sum, average. If you check the formula library, you see all those many functions, count if, if statement, and all those many things. Those are formulas that's already been coded in a cell memory. Okay, so all those are predetermined function. Why formula is not the predetermined function? Formula is just a calculation that gives you results. So in your calculation, you can use function in it. Do you understand? In your calculation, you can use a function in it. So what is a cell reference? A cell reference is a unique address used to identify a cell in a cell. Okay? So I told you a cell. A cell is also, it looks like a cell reference, but what we use to identify it. Okay? For instance now, let's go back here. When we're naming this, we can name this particular one something like, let's just type it, all right? Let's name it cell A1, all right? We have given it a name, all right? We are giving it a name. So look at right here. We have A1 plus B1. Let's try to do something tricky. Equal to cell A1. Okay. Times this reference. Can you see? Let's plus it. Give us the same answer. So this is cell reference. All right. This one give us A1 plus B1 is the same thing, all right, because that's the original name of the cell. But we renamed the cell to something else, to cell A1. So right here, when we're writing the formula, we just use the name of that particular cell, the cell reference, and say cell A1 plus B1 gives us the same answer. So this is a cell A1. It's also called a cell reference. So that's why I see the word cell reference. That means we are referring back to that cell in our formula. So that means to say anything we have in that cell comes up, appears in the formula. So that's why it's called cell reference. We are referring back to that particular cell. We're referring back to the object, the item, the value, whatever thing that we have in that particular cell. We're referring back to it, right, in the formula. So we don't need to type that in, to have it in the formula, right, to be able to get our results. We just refer back to that particular cell to have the content of that cell as a cell reference. We don't need to type. I don't need to type like we did right here. We typed 8 plus 2. We don't need to type 8 plus 2. We already have something in that cell. We just need to do what? Reference that particular cell. Whatever item, whatever content that that cell contains, automatically will appear, all right, in that particular cell reference that you have referenced it. Is this clear?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. But please, I have a question, sir.
Okay.
All right. When you are doing this example, you are using just two should I use the word two figures,
Okay.
A1 and B1. What if
Mhm.
you have a larger amount of figures, maybe you're in an horizontal format or vertical format. I want to do the summary of everything, like the sum of everything or average or whatever way. How do we go about that?
Assuming we have 10 here, we have 8 here. And we have 2. Is that what you're talking about? And you want to do the sum of everything. Is that what you're talking about?
It might be maybe it's more than two, like downward, maybe horizontal way. You're having a lot of numbers, maybe like 10, 8, 3, 7, 9, random numbers like that. And we want to do the addition or maybe sum or average of everything on that same row.
Yeah,
Or
so that's what we call array. That's what we call array. That's why I say your Excel 2016 cannot do it. For instance, I can do sum, right, equals to sum. All right, let me just bring this and just click like this and click like this. It sums everything for us. Can you see it? It's the same thing apply whether you have 1 million rows. It's the same logic. It's do you understand? It's the same logic. If I have, okay, let me put another thing here now. If I have 7, I have 8 here. It's the same logic. There's nothing different there. All right. It's the same logic that applies. All right. And I do sum. Okay. And I select everything here.
So please, I have a question. Sorry.
And enter.
I
Can you see
think
the same
what he's
sum?
trying to say is if you have more than 2 cells you want to sum. I guess that's what he's trying to say. How do you sum, like let's say 10? For example, now you did a list that time, 1 to 10. How do you sum all of them? Do you have to say A1 plus A2 plus B1 plus C1 plus?
That's what I
I
just
think
showed
that was
you.
his trying.
That's what I just use this operator. That's what I just showed you now. There's an operator you can see right here. You can see this column. Do you see this column that I use right here? All right. The column is used for array. All right. Array is like I told you, like it's a range of data. Okay. You don't need to do plus. You just select the whole array. All right. For instance, now this is B1. So where did the cell start from? The whole range. Where did the range that you want to sum start from? The range starts from A1, right? Where did the range end? The range end at B3. Is that correct? So if you want to sum, what do you have to do? You just have to equal to sum. Where did the range start from? A1. I enter A1. All right. Enter my column. Enter column. Where did the range end? B3. I enter B3. And I close and I enter. It will give me the same one, the same 37. So it's not, I didn't use plus here. Do you understand me? I didn't use plus here. I just used the sum
Yes,
function
understand.
and I used this particular operator. It's called an operator. You can see this particular sheet that I'm working on is the operator sheet, right? And I think I didn't prepare this thing for a formula. This is the operator sheet, teaching an operator. It's an operator. Okay, so that's why you can see it works. You can see this particular, what's it called? Column right here. This is what we use to write an array or a range. Okay, so you select a particular range, separating it with just a column. So the first reference you're going to have is what starts the range. The last one is what starts. So if you have 3 columns, let's say and that number is not here, we now have like 4. We have 4 here. We have 7 here. We have 3. This is the cell that starts the range. This is the cell that ends the range. So start here. Where's the last column? This. Where's the last row of the last column? This. Where's the first column? This. Where's the first row of the first column? This. Do you understand? So you select the first column of the first row of the first column and the last row of the last column, all right, to give you that particular range, and you separate them with what? A column. That's how it's calculated. You don't need to do plus 1 billion. No, you don't do that. Is it clear now?
Yeah, it's clear to me.
So please, I have a question, please.
Okay.
So let's assume that we are doing maybe this school academic stuff, and
Mhm.
you know they calculate the courses per. I don't know how to explain, but what I'm trying to say is like these numbers are being arranged. Like this, you arrange 10 to 4, and then I want to sum both column and rows. Not together. I want to sum all the columns separately and all the rows separately.
Okay.
It's the same logic.
It's the same logic that applies. So what you do, you just add the sum, right? Okay, let me just do this. All right. So why you can do this on a cell, right? Power, what's it called? What's it called? Pivot table. We help you to do summarization and all those many stuff. But it's okay. Using table can help you to do those many stuff. But it's okay. Let's just be doing it in Excel, right? At least also have the basic understanding. So you sum for the, this is the row summation. This is total sum of the rows. Then you also do total sum of the column. All right. So total sum of the rows will not be sum. Okay. Then you just drag. Where's drag it? All right. Just drag it and click OK. 6. Okay. I think we removed that what was here before. Let's just say 7 was here. So this is it. Then you just drag it down. All right. Drag it down. Can I put drag it one more time like this so that I can have the form? No, so that I can have the formula this way. It's happening before C4. Okay. Understand. All right. So let's do for here. The same thing applies. Just drag. Okay. And come. Just drag the formula. So you see the same thing. Right here, the sum of this is this. 7 plus 2 is 9. 9 plus 4 is 13. 8 plus 2 is 10 plus 4, 14. 7 plus 8, 15 plus 4, 19. 8 plus 7, 15 plus this, 27, 22. 2 plus 2, 4 plus 8, 12. 4 plus 4, 8 plus 8, 12. So do you understand now? So this is the total of the column, and this is the total of the row. Is it clear now? Can we proceed?
Yeah, we can.
Yes, it is clear. But so please, I have a question as well. Again.
Okay.
Can you hear me, sorry?
Yes.
Hello, can you hear me?
Go ahead, please.
Okay, all right, thank you. My question is this. In a scenario whereby, for example, let me use maybe accounting, maybe business transaction now. Maybe you have sales, you have expenses, different rules actually. So, but you want to omit a part. You don't want to add. Maybe you just only want to add your sales and your maybe your revenue. That's the only thing you want to add. You want to, and everything is all together. Maybe you have expenses too on another row, on the same row. Sorry, and you want to omit one part.
Your line is, first of all, your line is breaking. Number 2, I think you are far from your phone. There's echo. I can't hear you clearly. So maybe put your phone closer to your mouth and I don't know. Let's start again. I'm trying to visualize what you're saying.
I think he's saying something along the lines of.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, where you are now, if for example it is sales, then on 6 you have revenue, on 7 you have expenses, on 8 you have any other thing you can have.
Let's work on it, please. Column 1, the first column, what's there?
Sales.
Exchange, okay. Column 2.
Then the next you having sales. Sales, yeah. Then the next expenses. Then maybe the next one you have maybe profit or something. I don't know. Any other thing. So now I just want to add maybe under them. Then they have different figures. They have different figures under them each. So and I want to add just only exchange plus expenses, and I don't want to involve sales and profit. All my calculation that I want to do, I just want to be between exchange and expenses.
Okay, so your question is that you want to add exchange and expensive together, right?
Yes,
That what you're
I don't.
asking?
Yes,
You don't
all
want
my
to add
work.
this. You don't want to
I don't
add.
profit.
Okay, yeah, the same logic. It's a logic, right? So let's do it. So sum. All right. So sum. What's the first number you want to? So let's select the particular range. So you want to add this, right? Then what do you do next? Comma. Okay. As you can see right now. This is the syntax for using sum. So once you click the sum, the first number we selected what? We selected a range. So I did comma now. It's telling me to put the second number. All right. So now I want to select expenses, and I close and I click OK.
Oh.
Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Is this the question? Is this what you're asking?
Yes. So I also want to ask you this. It's also
Yeah.
on same thing. For example, now let's use the aspect of the sales now. Maybe under the sales now you're having 3 figures there, 2, 7. Now I just want to add 2, the first 2 and the last 7. I don't want to add the middle 7. How do I go about that?
You want to add the first, okay.
And the last 7. I don't want to touch the middle 7.
Well, your question is technical, right? You can do this in pivot table very easy. All I want to do here is basics, but we can still solve it here. Do you understand? All right.
Okay.
So why you shouldn't crack away too much? How do I do all this many? We can do it with pivot table, but it's okay. So now you want to add expensive, this 2 here and this 4, right? Is that what you're asking?
No, that's not what I'm asking. For example, now
Okay.
let's use this sales, for example. Let's go to the sales. So I want to add the first 2.
2?
The 2, yes. The last 7.
7.
Yes, I want
okay.
the middle 7. I don't want to touch it at all.
No, it's okay. It's the same logic. All right. You reference that particular cell. So I've referenced the cell right now. Then you click comma at this time. Then you reference the other one. Then you close it. Then give you the sum 9. If we change this last 7, right? If we change this last 7 to 10, you see that its value has changed to 12. 10 plus 2.
Okay, sir.
It's 10.
Okay.
So can you?
Yeah, Mr. John.
Yeah, so something like that is not something that's usually prevalent when there's like a criteria to be met when adding or subtracting. For example, now, it's not this conditional formatting thing of when, for example, if you say on each row, if the profit is greater than a certain extent, add it up. If not, don't add. Something similar to question.
Yes, we have not got into conditional formatting, but from what it's asking right now, there's no condition attached to it. We only have numerical values. This is what we call the fact table. We only have the fact table. We don't have a dimension table. So if this is just the fact table that has to do with numerical values. Okay, there's no descriptive values.
But if there was a condition attached, that would be something similar to what he asked, right?
Yes, there's a condition attached, but right now there's no condition attached. You're usually asking how to it's like trying to maneuver his way around using these formulas to work.
Okay, no problem.
Right, and so that's it.
Okay, sir.
My friend, is it clear?
Yes, it is. Thank you. Well, I think I'm interested in what the other guy just said now. If there's a condition, something like that, how do you go about it?
We'll get there. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. You guys have carried me deep. Okay. Cell reference. All right. Cell reference is a unique address used to identify a cell in a cell. All right. I believe everybody understands what the cell reference is. Okay. It helps you to refer you back to the cell, the container, what the cell contains. Okay. Refers you back to the content of a cell reference. Okay, so it's telling you that a unique address that is used to identify a cell. It is formed by combining the column letter and the row letter of a cell. For example, A1 refers to cell located at column A, row 1. Cell references are important because they allow you to use the data in specific cell when creating formulas and functions. Type of cell reference. There are 3 main types of cell references in a cell. Number 1, relative cell reference. They adjust automatically when copied or moved to another cell. A1. Yeah, so relative cell reference. A1 is a relative cell reference. Okay. equal to A2, so relative cell reference. So if you copy it down, they adjust automatically. So let's just see what we are talking about right here. So we have A1. We have, let me just remove this cell A1 that I put here. So let's go to formulas, name manager, let's delete it. So we just return back to A1. So this A1 right here. Let's not use A1 since our everyone is already at the content. Oh, we can still use A1. So A1 right here. So if I do equal to A1, it refers that particular cell. All right. So they what automatically, can you see the change as they move downwards? So A2, can see A1 right here. If you can look at the formula bar, I only just copied, I only just drag it down. I dragged it down. What happened? It's in the next row. I drag it down, it's in the next row. The reason why it's only 0 here because this row here, row 3 doesn't have row 3 on column 1, column A does not have any value there. If I put 3 here, or if I put 5 here, automatically you see this 0 that we have here will change. Okay, so this is what is moving down dynamically. It's changing as it's moving downwards because I dragged it. All right. So that's what's called relative reference. There's relative reference, all right, that adjusts automatically when we copied, or move the cell downwards. Okay. Absolute reference, they remain fixed even if copied down or moved. To make a cell reference absolute, you add a $sign before the column letter and the row number. All right, you can see right now A1, $sign A1 remains A1. So let's go. So this is one of, I think with the knowledge of the autofill, you're going to understand a little bit what this is about. Okay. So the A1 is like, if you add the $sign to it now, if you add the $sign to it, so where there? If you add the $sign to it, okay, nothing changes. So if I drag it down, it remains the same thing. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. A1. If you look, just put your eye on the formula bar. All right, it's A1. The next row, the same thing, A1. The same thing, A1. The same thing, A1. This is a fixed reference. The same thing, A1. It's not changing. It's just there. It's not changing. Why? Because what? We have locked it. All right, so it doesn't change because we have this right here. It doesn't change. It doesn't change. Can you see that? It doesn't change. It's the same thing. I will show you a use case for this. All right, if you're using this a lot, I will show you a use case for it. Okay, so you can see it did not change. So that's what? Absolute reference, or you can call it a fixed reference. They remain fixed even if copied or moved downwards. They remain, they are not changing. They will not have missed reference. A missed reference is a cell reference where either the row or the column is fixed, but not both. All right, so you can see right here, A1. You can see $A, but there's no dollar before the 1. There's a dollar before the column. There's no dollar before the row number. All right, so this is a missed reference. So as you can see right here, so let's just do this again. So right here, we can see $sign. So let's remove the $sign before the row number and click enter. All right, and let's just drag down. And then you see, all right, it's the $sign, the A is not changing. You can see right here, the A is not changing. All right, we have moved downwards. Let's move to the right. So if we move to the right, you can see 10, 10, 10. You're expecting it to do what? You're expecting it to change as it's going because we have column B right here. But because we already locked the column A with this $sign, so the column A is not changing to column B. It's just column A. But we didn't lock the row number. It's row 1. So if we drag down, it will go to row 2. Let's remove the $sign, all right, before the column number and drag to the right. And let's see. So what did you see? It's moving. The next thing, as it's moving to your right, is moving to the next cell. So you can see right here, as it moves here, it's moving to the next. You can see, if you look at the formula bar, you're seeing B1, A1. But if I lock the column, all right, let me lock the column, all right? I lock the column with $sign. And I drag to the right. It doesn't change. It's just 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Now let's do the other way around. Now, if I leave the column, all right, and I lock the row, and I lock the row and I drag down, nothing changed, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. But if I drag to this side, there's a change. Why? Because I did not change. I did not lock the column. All right, I only lock the row. So this is a missed reference. There's relative reference, there's absolute reference, and there's missed reference. Please understand this thing is very important. It's very, as I'm telling you, it's very important. It's very, very important in what you do. Okay? So what is a use case? What do I do? Okay, let me do something, right? So let's get some names from here. Let's get some names from here, right? Let's do this. Let's just put it here. Let's put this. Let's just paste. Oh, I didn't copy it. Oh, I didn't copy it. So I paste here. So let me duplicate this. Duplicate this. Let me duplicate this. Let me duplicate this. All right. So now let's use a count fit. Now we want to count how many times a name occurred in this particular place right here. Okay. So let's just put this as a name. Oh. Name. All right. Number of occurrence. Okay, so equal to, which are we going to use? We want to use a count. All right. Count if this to this is equals to this. All right, so right now we're going to lock these guys. We're going to lock this guy because we don't want it to change. Others can change, but we don't want it to change. So let's lock it. So we're going to lock this. Lock this. Then we'll not lock the others. Click OK. So you can see one occurrence. Okay. 3 occurrence, 1 occurrence, 3 occurrence. You can see that Chinedu Okoro only appeared once. All right. So if you want to know, you can use this. You want to know the number of time a particular thing appeared, a particular name, or it can be anything, particular product appeared. All right. You can use this formula just quickly. You know the number of time particular. So this formula is also used when you are doing conditional formatting. For instance, we can put this in a conditional formatting tool. When we spot duplicate, when we spot the duplicate value, it just highlight it automatically. So what did this thing do? We used what's it called? Absolute reference here, because we don't want this range to change. So we want it to start counting from here. If now is an absolute reference here, when it gets to the next row, if I drag down, we get to the next row, it will not start from here again. It will start from here. That means to miss this one, it will not count this one. Do you guys understand? It's not clear? All right, let me do something.
Yeah, I understand.
Maybe it's not clear. All right, it's not clear to some of you guys. You don't understand. So let me do it. Let me do something. All right. People should stop writing on the screen. Okay, so now I have Ngozi Eze, Abdul Ibrahim, Ngozi Eze. Let's just copy this. All right. Oh, let's just do it again, right? Count if. Let's use the count if. I want to count if, all right, this particular range. See this particular range here, right? And I want to count what's criteria. I want to count this. And I click OK. So you can see Ngozi appeared 2 times here. Let's drag down now. You can see Ngozi here. It's only telling you that Ngozi appeared once here. Do you know why? Because I didn't use an absolute reference. So when in this first place, as we can see right here, what's happening here, if you look at the formula that we have, let me just copy the formula and put here. So let me put it by the side. So you can see what we are doing. So look at the formula right here. So it started counting from, because I selected the range from C9 to C21. I started counting from here. But by the time you get to the next one, let's put the formula. So look at what's happening right here. All right. Look at the first one. What happened here? Look at the range. The range is what? C9 to C21. This is C9 to C21. So because there's no absolute reference, when I drag down, all right, the range has changed to what? C20 to C22. So it drag like this. It has come like this, C22. When I drag again, there's no absolute reference. So it's just counting three rows altogether. Can you see? D21 to D22. Can you see because there's no absolute reference. So it wants to count a range of 3 items, all right, of three cells, but it cannot count them because I did not put the reference. I did not put the absolute reference right there. So it cannot count, it cannot restrict it to that particular cells when you have content, when you have values right there. So that's why we have to lock it so that it doesn't pass. It must always be counting from starting. It must always be starting from C19. It must always be starting from C19. If you look at this second one, it didn't start from C19 because the value is changing as it's going downward. This is what a relative reference. As it's going downwards, the value is changing. It's relative reference. We did not use anything for it. So now when we add this dollar sign to it, all right, we are saying lock this range. Let it always be starting from C19. So how do we get to do that? So by the time we have to now lock C19, right? Absolute reference. So I'm telling it, don't change. Always start from C19. That's absolute. It doesn't change. But you can see this next one now. This is the end. This end can change. All right. But you see this one, don't change. So now, when I drag down, see what happens. Okay. Look at the formula. Look at the formula bar right there. You can see what happened. I think I have a magnifier right here. Let me see. Screenshot whiteboard, not whiteboard. Should have a magnifier. Okay, well, there's no time for that. All right, so look at if you look at the formula bar, you can see C19 started from C19. You come to the next one, it started from C19 because I've already locked it. I'm telling it, don't go past whether you are dragging down or don't go past C19. Always start from C19 because I've locked it. You cannot go more than that. I've locked it. It's permanent. You can see now it's a copy from C19 to C22 right here. It cannot go more than that. Look at here, right here. It started from C19 to C23. Right now, you can see it's copying down to C23. I can also lock this place so that I can lock, all right, this other range so that it doesn't still exceed. It doesn't exceed the particular range. All right, you see the same thing. If I drag down, you can see now it's not exceeding. It's just this range where this data is. That's what it's counting. So I've used what's an absolute reference right there. So I'm telling it, please don't pass this range. Just stay within this range. Don't pass this range. The first one, using relative reference. Don't come down and start counting or come down and start counting 3. No, count from here. So that's what I did right here. So when I did the missed reference always starts from here, but it counts 2 rows down. Then always starts from here. But look at it, all right? start from here, but if you look at it, it counts 2 rows down. So that's why you can see C21. Whereas, okay, this is absolute reference, right? You get it right. I don't want to go back there anymore. So the misreference was counting 3 rows down, but the absolute reference, what does remain absolute, is not passing. I just restricted it to this particular range. It doesn't pass this range at all. So that's the concept of absolute reference. So that's kind of, with this one, I'm able to know that Ngozi appeared 2 times. If I come to again where Ngozi again is Ngozi appeared 2 times. Abdul only appeared once. Is it very clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yes, it's clear.
So you need that absolute reference a lot when you're doing condition formatting and all those many things. You want to highlight a particular, when you see a particular thing, when you see a particular yes, you want to highlight something when you see a particular yes somewhere. All right. When you see yes, you can take conditional format. When you see yes, highlight it. You can use a conditional format to format it in that way. That when you see a particular value, you highlight it. For instance, you're spotting you want to identify a particular name in a long 1,000 names, whatever. And you can lock it to that. When you see this name, highlight it red. You can use the same format, all right, to do it. And absolute reference and all that, misreference to get it done. So please just have that at the back of your mind because you're using it a lot in your formulas. Okay, so
Sorry, Tom.
absolute reference, relative reference, misreference. I already taught you that. Writing formulas step by step. Click the cell where you want the result. Type equal to, enter your formula using the cell reference, number, and operators. Press enter. To calculate total cost quantity, if quantity is in A2 and price is in B2, you just type A2 times B2. All right, which I've already showed you. All right, I've already showed you that already. So let's just move forward. Common formula errors. Errors. All right. When you see this kind of error, it's in divided by 0 or an empty cell. For instance, now if I come here, all right, and I say equal to this divided by this. You see the error that they gave us. So whenever you see this error, just know that one of your division constants, all right, either the denominator or the numerator, all right, is blank. That cell is blank. So it will give you this particular error, as you can see right here. You can see the formula. Let's see the error message that is there. The formula of function used is dividing by 0 or an empty cell. So that's when you see this particular error. Let's just move forward. ROEF, invalid cell reference, deleted cell. Okay, which I already showed you before, where we are trying to do this. For instance, I just do this equal to, let me just reference this particular cell, say D9 and click. So you see it returns 1 again here, it returns 1. But in the case where I delete this particular column, what you're going to see is this particular error message. So it's telling you that row, all right, where you're trying to get value, the value does not exist. Okay, therefore, I'm bringing error message for you. So let's see the error. Moving or deleting cells cause an invalid cell reference or function, returning reference. So as you can see right here, so that is what this error means. So let's go to the error, next error message. Value, wrong data type used, test instead of a number. Okay, let's see. Control Z. Let's just bring that guy out. So let's say we want to do equal to this plus this. All right, you can see wrong data type is bringing the value error for you. Let's see the error message. A value used in this formula is of the wrong data type. That is to say, you cannot plus a test string and a number, all right, together. So that's why it's bringing error for you. You can add them, all right. When I mean add, you can join them. You cannot add them, right? Like addition, you can join. So if I use the concat, this what's it called? Ampersand. Is it ampersand or something? That's what they call it. Yeah. This and. And this and they call it ampersand, right? So I use this ampersand and I click OK. So what you see now, you see Okoro 1. I just added Okoro 1 attached. So I've joined them. It worked. All right. But in the case where I want to do an addition, you cannot add Chinedu Okoro plus 1. Doesn't make any sense. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
That's why it's giving this kind of error. As you can see right there, then the value used, the data type is wrong. So when you have a wrong data type, it gives you that kind of error. And so many more. You have the name, Excel doesn't recognize text, maybe it's pair of function. So like we saw in when I was using Excel 2016, okay, when I was using Excel 2016, we saw that error that there because it does not recognize that formula. For instance, let me just enter a formula. There's no, let me just enter a name. For instance, let me say Chinedu. Enter. So what do you see? That name error. Why? Because it does not recognize that name. Do you know why? Because I've not stored that name as in either a name range. I've not stored it as a name range. I've not saved, or I save a particular cell with that name, or I save a particular table with that name, or a function is in that name. It will bring this formula. If I save a particular cell as Chinedu, let's see what happens. All right. Let's save this. Let us come here and save this as Chinedu. And click OK. Automatically, right? You can see right here. We have Chinedu right here. So because Chinedu does not have anything inside, let's add 5 in that Chinedu. So it has 5. Right? So the name error appeared. Why? Because Excel identifies Chinedu as either a function or a table name or a cell name, you know, a name reference, right? That is cell name, a range. Do you get? So when Excel does not identify any name at all, right, it brings that name error. Come to see it. We look at the formula error. See, formula contains unrecognized text. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So we are entering this as a formula. We started with equal to. If we just remove the equal to and type only Chinedu, of course it will return it as a test. It can easily return it as a test. But because we added equals to, so we are telling Excel that, all right, I want to start writing formula now. All right, so if I do this and enter, it brings you, it's seen it as a formula. So Chinedu is not a formula. It's not a recognized function, it's not a table name, it's not a cell name, it's not a name of a range. That does not recognize it. So because of that, it brings an error message for you. As you can see right there, then the norm invalid numerical value. Like if you have a numerical value that's invalid, it brings it and a value not available. So if you are doing something and there's no value, it brings error. For instance, I think we have done that before. Let's just say I want to do a plus here equal to this. Let's see how to give an example with this. Of course, you come across this error, so right? Yeah, speaking of work, and maybe so I also give you something like that. You give me 0 because the system. But I mean, you have cases where you show the value company, show it anything. So you come across it, you just use the green error indicator. You expect the error show the small green, but that's over the set to see the warning message. So that's the green arrow that we have been using since. All right, the green arrow indicator right here. This stuff when you see the green arrow indicator, so it tells us more about what the problem is. Formula auditing, formula tab, formula auditing with trace precedence. Right, so this one now you can do this one later. All right, so you have there. If you go to the formula banner, you can choose show error arrow putting to cell using formula. So when you go there, you just see all this stuff. You go to the formula tab and see trace precedence and everything. The meaning is there. So I don't want to waste too much time on that. Let's just keep moving. Our time is 3 o'clock. Actually time. Okay, well, let's see. I wish to cover this first, but I mean, finish this business of Excel today. Let's see. We can do 30 minutes more. We can close. Is that okay? Is that okay?
Sure, sir.
Yes, sir.
Some people are already tired. I want to go and eat.
Yeah, we can go on, sir. We can go on.
Sheet name. Yeah, that's okay. How it works. General format is equal to sheet name. The address. The address specific file.
Sir, your voice is breaking.
My voice is breaking. What about now?
Yeah, it's clear now. It's clear.
Is it better?
Yeah.
Chapter 8, operators in Excel. Why is this chapter matter? Operators are building blocks of formulas. Operators are symbols that tell Excel what kind of calculation or comparison to perform in a formula. Whether it is adding numbers, comparing values, checking conditions, or joining tests without operators, formulas will be static and lifeless. Understand how each of these operators work and how they interact. It's key to writing powerful accurate formulas. So we can see the operators right here. Arithmetic, we have 5 types. We have the arithmetic operators, which are the basic mass operator, plus, minus, times, divide, that slash sign, and the exponential sign, as you can see right here. Okay, so comparison. Comparison value, we have equal to, compares values, right? Equal to, greater, lesser, greater or equal to, lesser or equal to, or this one, not equal to. Okay, so logical values which you have and or not, concatenate. This is 10 string to join text together. Reference, this defines set references. So this is the, you can look at this, what's it called, column that I showed you that time, right? You can use this and look at this comma when you're writing function, right? Use comma to separate from one argument to the other. Then you also have this, just like that. Then you have space also. Space can be used as a what's it called? As a separator value, right? Like a separator value. So arithmetic operators, these are used for basic mathematical operations. As you can see, the plus, addition, A plus B, subtraction, A minus B, multiplication, A times B. So just like that, A1 times B1, division, just like that, exponential, yeah, just you can see, these are basic things that mass. These are mass, all right? Used to compare two values, they return true or false, equal to. If A is equal to B, all right, what would it do? The returns true or false. So you can use this word to do a lot of stuff. There are use cases for this. I don't know if the time will permit me to do that. All right, I use cases for this. All right, that returns equal to, return true or false if a particular thing is true. So let me show you something like that. So if I say, okay, let's delete all this. Let's say 3, 2, 1, 2, 0, 4, 3, 7, and I come here and I tell you that, I want to write all right, comparison operator using a formula using a computer operator. If I said this one here, this cell reference D9 is equal to D3. Is that correct? Is 1 equal to 3? Is it correct? What's the answer? Is it true or false?
False.
If you click enter, you can see that it brings false, as you can see right there. So that's correct. So we'll come here, the same thing. We said equal to, let's just drag down, please. So if we say 3 is 3 equal to 2, what's the answer? False. Is 1 equal to 1? What's the answer? True. Is 2 equal to 2? True. Is 1 equals to 0? False. Is 3 equals to 4? False. Is 2 equals to 2? True. So the same thing applies if we use another one operator. If I said D9 is greater than E9. Let's just drag down. Let me just put it in another place. Let's use the equal there. Let's use this here, D9. So you can see I'm writing it manually because I did not lock it. But if I lock it now, it will not move at all. All right, I didn't make it an absolute reference. That's why I see I'm typing it again. But if I made the absolute reference, can you see how important absolute reference is? See, I have to be typing again manually. Just imagine. Okay. D1 equals to E9 plus. So equal to, it's not equal to, I want to use greater than, and I click OK, greater than false. Can you see? So is 1 greater than 3? No. Is 3 greater than 2? Yes, that's why I see true. Is 1 greater than 1? False. Is 2 greater than 2? False. Is 1 greater than 0? True. So the same thing applies. So just like that. Then you don't have, let me just show you the other ones you have. Then you have equal to or greater than or equal to. Let me just use that right there and just drag it down. So is 1 greater than or equal to 3? False. Is 3 greater than or equal to 2? Yes, true. Greater than or either of the two. All right. Is 1 greater or equal to? Yes, true. So just like that, you just see it. It works. Then we now have not equal to. This. Click OK. It's like the not of it. All right. It's like the negative instead of possible. For instance, is 1 greater than 3? 1 is not greater than 3. It will bring true for you. Is 3 greater than 2? All right, it brings true. So it's like not equal. It's not lesser. It's not greater. All right, it brings it for you. So basically, that's how you use this. So let us move on. Logical operators, all right, used in condition formatting to combine criteria and or condition true and A1 greater than 50. So the and used for more than 2, comparing more than 2 things. Okay, so there must be 2 things that you're comparing, not just 1. So all conditions must be met for that thing to come to pass. As you can see here, A1 is greater than 50. If it's true and B1 is not lesser than 100, the answer will be false. In the case of at least, all right, 1 must be correct. If A1 is greater than 50 and B1 is not lesser than 100, the answer will still be true because it's just at least 1 will be correct. 1 will be correct. The reverse logic, not. So you can see not. That A1 is greater than 50. The A1 can be greater than 50, but it will return false. All right, because it's a not. You can see the not here, right here. It brings it reverse for you. Test, concatenate, and operator. So the ampersand symbol, which is this, all right, in a cell is used to join, concatenate 2 or more pieces of test number cell value into one string. Any test value must be enclosed in double quotes. So any test value you are writing in a formula must be enclosed what? With double quotes. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you want to write a test from inside it must enclose with a double quotes so that a cell knows its test, not a number, cell, function. Without the quote, a cell will throw a name error because it thinks you are referencing cell or function that does not exist. For instance, let's go back to this example we did. We did Chinedu right here, right? We did Chinedu. All right, Chinedu. And we enter. Let's see what I will see everything in the name range. Okay, it's not there. And we did this, and we refresh Chinedu and click enter. Let's see. Oh, sorry, I was referencing this. We did this, right? We did Chinedu. Because it's not a formula, it is not a name range, it's not a cell name. And you click this, it gives you a name. All right, now let's do the same thing. Write the Chinedu inside the formula, but this time let's wrap it around a quotation mark. So we'll do the quotation mark, Chinedu, all right, and quotation mark to close it and click OK. It brings Chinedu first. Do you know why it's seen this as a text? Because we wrap it as a quotation mark. All right. But this one now, we just type equal to Chinedu. It brings it as an error because we are trying to access either a formula, either a function, a table name, a name range, or a cell name. All right. So that's why I bring an error here. Chinedu, the only thing that is different between this and this is that we wrap this with what? A quotation mark. So this quotation mark is telling us that this is a test. So don't take it as a function or don't take it as a name range. Take it as a test. So that's why I see Chinedu here. So we can use the and also add there. Let's say we use Chinedu right here. And I do and the ampersand, right? Do and. Okay, let me just give it a space. All right, mind you, space is also a character. All right, like you have A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Space is a character. Essay recognizes it as a character. So and it's a test as well. So let's open the quotation mark, hit the space button, close the quotation mark. All right, and want to do another thing, the ampersand. The ampersand is just to be adding tests together. That's why it's called a test operator. All right. And we'll do what? Want to add Chinedu, Okoro. Want to add Okoro now. So want to add Okoro. We cannot just type Okoro. If I just type Okoro, then it will bring an error. If I type Okoro here now, right? You see. Can you see? It brings an error, but I have to wrap it around a quotation mark. So please, you see this what I'm telling you, how to deal with test. It The same thing when you're doing with Python, the same thing when you're doing with SQL, the same thing when you're doing with DAX. These are basics that you need to understand. If you can understand how to add tests together, you know, how to add tests and numbers together, it becomes very easy for you. So right now, we just wrap this Okoro now, you know, wrap it with the quotation mark. So we can see we have returned Chinedu Okoro successfully written here because we wrapped everything. You can see if you look at the formula bar, you can see the formula that we have currently right there. So yeah, so that's it. So understand how to, I think I have a test operator here. Let me just open it. Okay, contact anything. I've not really done anything here. All right, hello world. You can see hello world. I wrapped it and this, and it gives me this. Okay, so that's the test operator. I think we have more than several other things. The example, if you want to combine first name and last name, all right, you can use say A1 equals to John and say B1 equals to Do. Formula A1 ampersand B1 give you John Doe. Adding space or character. If you want a space or extra text between them, wrap it in quotation mark. And you can see what I did there, right? I just wrap a space in quotation mark. Like this is exactly what I did. A1, this. Of course, this one is reversing itself, but now we wrote the test inside the formula. So we have to wrap it. But this one is reversing itself. And of course, we are assuming that this particular cell already has a name right there. So, and you know, this is space right here and B2. So you join these two together and add position mark. All right, formula A1, this. All right, John Doe. So this space right here, okay, we are using this as the separator value. Okay, because this position mark is also a test value, and every test value must be wrapped with a quotation mark inside a function, inside a formula. So please understand that very well. Combining test with number. Price A1, B1 equal to price. So if you want to add this one, formula A1 and space and this, so it gives you price equal to this. So when you're doing DAX, all right, you can use this one to put it now, to beautify how you name your charts, how you name your your tables and other visual elements. Okay, you can use that. You can say, oh, price is equals to this. Okay, so that's what I did there. Let me just quickly show you. Come to category. I think was it category? I've done a lot here. All right, I can say the price is let's just sum this. Let's quickly use the sum. Let's just sum this, which is 16. So I can say I can open the this and start okay, total occurrence. Total occurrence. Okay, I can even add that to it. So this one give me total occurrence. I can add that to it. You can say total occurrence and add this to it. Then I can even add a space. I can add a space before the quotation mark. They are all tests together. Total occurrence equal to. Then let me add the ampersand and reference this particular cell. Close it and click OK. Oh, excuse me. Total occurrence. Why is it showing me error? Okay, so you can see how I just use this one to make this. I use this one to bring the final formula. All right. You can see right here. You can see total occurrence. So I wrap the total occurrence, and all these ones with an ampersand with a quotation mark, and use the ampersand and reference this particular cell. So it gives me this. So total occurrence is equals to this. I can use it to write, my summary reports like this. Total occurrence is equals to this. I was just writing 16. I can see total occurrence is equals to this. Of course, if this thing change, that 16 where we have right there, if it change to 4, you can see that changed to 90. As this one is changing, it's changing because this one is looking at this particular cell, as you can have right there. So this we can add test and numbers together. Guys, I'm already tired.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Really appreciate.
All right, so yes, let's just finish chapter 8. All right, we'll start with chapter 9 in the next class.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
No problem. Go ahead.
Okay.
They all begin with which letter?
Adding space and character. Okay, we've done that. Combining test.
What's the next letter? Check.
numbers. Okay. Please mute. Oh, please. Okay. By default, numbers are converted into tests when concatenated. Okay. You can write mix and function with function. Okay. You can mix with function. Today is. Then you now write the test. Today, it brings that for you. I know that. You can combine it with function. Different between and concat or test join. And operator, quick, simply joining. Concat function joins range and cells of data. All right. So the concat function, okay, is used right the same way as the and. All right, but it helps you to join the range of data. For instance, I can use concat, which is a function. All right. If I add the concat and I click the tab, so it's telling me this. So what do I want to concatenate? What do I want to add together? All right. Mind you, this is a test function. All right. Let's say I want to concat everything here, which will be too long. So let me just concat this two. Okay. Help you to concat range of data, and I click OK. Just like that. You can see the name right here. You can see Chinedu, this is the concat function. All right. Which and can also do for you. If I do the same thing equal to this, all right, and I have to be writing it, all right, and this, and I click enter, it gives me the same answer right here. So this concat is a function, which is a predetermined function. If you come to the function library right here, you'll be able to see tests. You're able to see what you want to do. So for me, if I selected that, yeah, so right there, you can be to see if I can use the concat. You can search for anything you want to search. Let's say I want to search for the concat. Look at this, search for a function. Search for concat. So if I search for concat, you will do all the formula setup you want to do right here. All right. From there, you can when you load it, it automatically uploads right there on your sheet. So if I click go, you can see it has brought the concat. This concatenate, the test join, this concat. So if I click OK, all right, you see the dialog box is telling me test one. What's the first test I want to enter? So I can just click this and select this particular range right here, and click back and goes. As you can see, I selected that too. I don't need to do test two. So once I click OK, the same thing right here. What I did, this one I just did it by typing in because I know the formula already. All right, so I just did it. But this one here, I got it through what? The function library, as I showed you, and I did it inside the box and everything here, So this is actually an easy way for you to write functions. Okay, if you're not familiar with the functions right here, well, me, I'm familiar with most of the functions right in Excel, so they're already in my head. So I don't need to be going through that route. I just type and do my thing and I move on. Okay, yeah, the concat operator, concat test join for so test join. So test join is even better. All right, test join is even better. It's like one step ahead. Test join is test with a delimiter like a comma or separator and can skip blank scales. So we can use test join also. Can use test join. You can see how we are using like 3 things to achieve one thing. So mind you, in your 2016, I'm not sure if there's test join there. Okay, so what's the delimiter? Do you understand what is the delimiter? The delimiter is a particular character, right, that you want to use to separate two words. Do you understand? That's a delimiter. Okay, delimiter can be a space. For instance, if you look at this name here, where my cursor currently is right here. Okay, this where my cursor. If I look at this name right here, you can see the delimiter is what? A space that is separating between Chinedu and Okoro, as you can see right here. So that delimiter, that thing that's separating between Chinedu and Okoro is called a delimiter. You must have heard of CSV file. It's called comma separator value. So it is comma that is separating each of the columns. All right, each of the column, each of these rows is comma that is separating them. All right, that's what we call CSV file. So this one now, so there's nothing like space file. But you can space CS comma, all these are separator value. So right now it's asking us, okay, what is the value? Which value do you want to separate this? Then we cannot put the delimiter as space, let's just enter it, delimiter as space. And just click here, ignore empty cell. Do I want to ignore empty cells? Yes, let me just put true. I can put true, I can put one, it's the same thing. One and true is the same thing in Excel. So if I put one, you see the same thing. As I click on, you can see right there, you can see true, ignore empty cells. I can still type it true myself. All right, I can type it true myself. It's still the same thing. True is equals to 1, false is equals to 0. So it's the same standard when you're working with Excel, you're working with Power BI, and you need to use something true, false, and all those things. True is 1, false is 0. So you can put 1 right here and just click here. So test. So what are the tests I want to join? Test 1 is this. Okay. And click comma. Of course, you can select range as well. Test 2 is this. Oh, sorry. I want to click this. Test 2 is this. And I can just click and go. You can see it has joined these two tests together. You can join thousands of tests together. All right. Let's see. Select a particular range from here to here. All right. Do and enter. You can see. Do this and because this is all separated there with. I can change this to comma separator value. No, I don't want to do space. Let me use punctuation mark and click OK. So you now see now. So this is what we call, this is actually the comma separator value. Right? You can see the comma right here. You can see Ngozi. You can see right here Ngozi Okoro, comma. Sorry, Chinedu Okoro, comma, Ngozi Eze, comma, Abdul Ibrahim, comma. So I've joined all these particular cells together in this column, right, using a comma separator value, as you can see right here. And I was able to do it using the test join. So test join gives you the ability. That's why test join is better than concat or concatenate. Concatenate is the former function for this thing. Then concat is the updated, and concat is not available in 2016. It's from 2021 above. All right, it's the updated one, and it gives you more flexibility and functionality. Test join is even better. All right, it's better than two of them. So all these are test functions. So if you have the knowledge of that, it's going to help you a lot. Okay, use and when combining just a few cells, but switch to test join when dealing with many cells. Best use case, reference operator. All right, I've told you about reference operator, the range. When you want to select a range, that was what that guy was asking me that time. You can see the operator right here. This is the operator when you're selecting the range of data. This is the operator that you use. That means what would be in between the cells, okay? That you want to reference, okay? Or you want to select the first row of the first column and the last row of the last column, right? Select particular range. So you put this at the middle. Select that. If you do it in a cell, just drag a particular range. Automatically, a cell will just you see it by yourself. For instance, now if I select like this, okay. So let me use a formula. Let me just say I use a sum, a count formula. Let me use a count formula, and I just select from here to here. So automatically, you can see a cell I selected D10, column D, C10, column D18. You can see automatically selects it. You can type it yourself manually. All right, C10, column D18. And if you look at the right, just look at it. You see that cell is particularly, can you see right side is highlighted when I did that? And you can just do this and count, and to give you the count of that particular range that has figures in them, as you can see right there. So that's what I showed that guy that time. Okay, we can have the union. So this union says use what to separate arguments. All right, to separate arguments. For instance, now this is we'll learn about arguments when we start teaching formulas. All right, so if I do sum, all right, equal to sum, and I do this, all right, this one is the first argument. Argument 1, that is number 1. What do you want to do? Argument 1, I can reference this cell. Okay, reference this cell, and I what? Union separator and a separator. So unions, what does union separator? Union, to unite, that unites these things together. Now, argument 2, this, all right, it has sum it for me, right? 1 plus 3 is equals to 4. That's what I mean. So you have a union separator, which you use mostly when you are writing functions, all right? And also separate one argument from the other. Okay, we have the if statement. For instance, we have the if statement. You can also use it in argument. I can say the if statement if this. Oh, why did I didn't use equal to, sorry. If this is a logical test. You can see logical test. Just look at what's highlighted there. All right, the tooltip that was giving us. If logical test, value 1, if it's true, value 2, if it's false. If this is equal to 3, all right, or equal to 2, what do I want to do? If it's equal to 2, then what will happen? I will say return. Let me enter a test. All right, I told you when you want to use a test string, inside a function, you have to wrap it around a quotation mark. Otherwise, if D9 is equal to return this, otherwise, all right, return not correct. Okay, then close it. That's the argument. That's basically what we need to write that if statement. If D9 is equal to 2, return this, otherwise return not correct. So I just enter it. You can see not correct. Why? Let me see if I can just copy this formula and bring here. This formula. D9. If D9 is equal to 2, correct or not correct. So you can see not correct. Why? Do you know why? Because what's it called? D9 is not equal to what? 2. So let's just drag this thing down and see if the ones that are equal to 2. So you can see this one is equal to 2, right? This is equal to 2. That's why I brought correct. This is equal to 2. That's why I brought 3. But this one is not equal to 2. So this is an if statement. All right, you can see this one is not equal to 2. That's why I brought this. This one is equal to 2. I brought this. That's why not equal to. That's why we're not correct. Just like that. Okay. So why am I showing this? I'm not teaching you if right now. All right, but I'm not showing using what the union separator. You can see how the union separator is separating between arguments. When you want to enter the next argument, you have to use the union separator, comma. So if D12 is equals to 2, you know that used to see that is the comma. All right, comma. What do you do? Do correct, comma, not correct. So that means if it's true. So that's the union separator for you. Okay, let me delete this. Yeah, so that's it. Space, intersects, and all that. Those are not important. Order of operation in Excel. Okay, yes. So you need to understand the order of operator. These are mathematical things we were taught in school and all that. Order of operation in Excel. Excel follows PEMDAS, parentheses, exponential, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. So this is the order of Excel. So you know these are simple mathematics. All right. 2 plus 3 times 4. So 2 plus 3 is what? Multiplication and addition. All right. Times 4. So which one will you do first? That's what I'm telling you, order of operation. So the result is not 14. 2 times 3 is not 14. Either is 20 because multiplication happens before addition. All right. Multiplication happens before addition. So if you want to add these two first, you have to wrap them under a parenthesis so you can add them under a parenthesis. So what happens first? It will not be 4 times 3 plus 2 times this will not give us 4 times 3, right? Because multiplication happens before addition. 4 times 3, then plus 2 will give us 14 and not 20. You're not plusing, even though 2 plus 3 comes first, you're not placing them first. All right? Because multiplication comes before addition. So you can look the formula PEMDAS, multiplication before addition. So you must multiply first before you before you add. So as you can see right here, So if you want to do this, want to add first, you have to wrap it under a parenthesis. These are mathematics and statistics. So this is why you're in school. So I believe all of you guys, you understand this thing. So you need to understand the order of operation. As you can see, this PEMDAS can help you to guide you through, you know you do. So thank you so much. This is what we're gonna call it today. So
thank you, sir.
We start chapter 9 on Thursday. How many chapters do we still have? Let me check my table of contents.
We have 4 more chapters.
You said what?
I said we have 4 more chapters to go.
How many?
Chapter 12. I think it's 12.
12 chapters. So we have 3 more chapters to go.
Oh, yeah, 3.
Okay, so that's okay. So on Thursday, I believe we have to cover the 3 chapters, then move to data cleaning, because everything I'm telling you, right, these are just the basics that you need to understand as a data analyst when using Excel. Do you get? I'm not teaching you advanced things that you can do inside Excel that is not data analysis. There are many properties you can do inside Excel that is not data analysis in terms of entering data and doing many or manipulating. But these are just the basic things that you need to understand to start your career. All right. Then as you go forward, you know that you understand these basic things. For instance, now you have learned how to, and when you want to write a test inside a formula, you have to wrap it on a quotation mark. If you don't know that thing, I'm start teaching you data cleaning. You will confuse, or I start teaching you DAX, data analysis expression. You confuse like, how did this one happen? You'll be asking me questions, so we're going back and forth. So that's why it's good that you go through this foundational level, and when you master these things, understand cell reference, understand all these many things. So when we start doing advanced things, you're not asking me baby question anymore. You understand? We have like mind, so we are just moving and doing many things. There's so much that we have to cover. All right, like I said, there's so much we have to cover. We have to do data cleaning in depth, data cleaning. We have to use Power Query, to do in depth. You have to do data modeling. So the main thing that you'll be doing in data analysis, you'll be busy doing modeling data, building relationship, doing DAX, data analysis expression, doing DAX. Those are the major things you'll be doing with data analysis, doing DAX, doing data modeling. Those are the two main things. Then building charts, building dashboards. Those are the basic thing, major thing that you'll be doing. All right. All these ones are just, and those things that they are deep. Each of them. Data modeling is, it has its own wide coverage of knowledge that you need to have. Data visualization, which is the building of charts, customizing charts, and all those things, using slicers and all those things, has its own depth of knowledge that you need to have. Data cleaning has its own depth, depths of, and different levels of data cleaning. For instance, if you want to clean, you want to remove duplicates, that depths. If you want to remove spaces, there are depths, there are different level. There's a beginner just doing simple removing space. There are deeper ones. All right. There's a point where a space will be in a particular cell, but a cell is not seeing it as a space. So those are a deeper level. So you now need to know how to clean data like that. So these are just the basic things that we need to understand. And I believe that, by the end of this program, we know where we can be. And I pray that we're able to cover so much. All right. So do you guys have something to say before I call it off?
Yes. Excuse me, Mr. Austin.
Yes.
Yeah. So I just wanted to confirm. Yeah, you said you'll be having a class on Thursday, right?
Yes.
By what time exactly?
Definitely, it's going to be when everybody's available. Let's say 9 p.m. We can set for 9 p.m. That's a good time.
So does it mean if we have the class on Thursday night, would not have the class on the second online class on Saturday? That's next week Saturday.
So the Saturday is the how would I put it? Is the time that we are supposed to be having this lecture, right? The Thursday I'm only doing extra class for the people.
Oh,
because
okay.
so that you can catch up. Because if I'm going by the calendar of the program, all right, we'll just end up doing only Excel or data cleaning, and you'll not be able to. Do you know what I'm saying? And so I just want to chip in just an extra class, right? Thursday do maybe Thursday we do, because we have like 3 classes to go. After this class, next week online class. The upper one we are doing physical class, we have closed, so we can just chip in like 2 extra classes in between. All right, and let's see how far we can cover. Then if you are not able to finish it, if you want to do extra class, then you cannot reach me, all right, for that. All right, but for now, I don't want to go by the normal calendar, all right, because the normal calendar will not get us anywhere.
All right, thank you very much, sir. And another thing is you also made mention of sharing the recording of today's classes, right? Just wanted to confirm.
Yes.
All
the recording will be shared, will be cleaned, all right? It will be cleaned, it will be edited, will be cleaned, and removing some unwanted things will be removed. And once the editing is done, it will be shared to the team leads, and the team lead I don't know, for these particular resources, it does not belong to me. What we are doing does not belong to me. It belongs to the organizers of the program. So if they allow us to say, okay, you cannot share. Is there material? Is there digital material? What's it called? Is a material, right? So if they not allow us, okay, share to them, of course we share to you guys. But I know a time will come where it will be uploaded to a particular YouTube account and all that. So you guys will go and watch the video for a period of time. All right, but it does not belong to me. This is not my material. It does not belong to me. I'm just a facilitator for this program. Do you get? But it will be shared. It will be shared definitely, but I don't know when. Is it okay?
Yes, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
So much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate. I really learned a lot today. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Okay. Sorry, Mr. Austin. Please, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, please.
All right. Sorry, please. I wanted to call your attention when you're talking about the aspect of maybe a data that appeared more than once.
Mm-hmm.
The replicated data that appear more than once. In that kind of scenario, maybe you have a lot of maybe names. Let's use names for example now, and you want to remove those ones that appeared more than once. Like you know within yourself that the names are duplicated, and just want to remove them. You want to filter. So that is what filter them out and bring only the one that is only one out of it. How do you go about that, sir? Sorry to call you back.
And there are many ways you can go about that. First of all, you can use sum if. For instance, you want to sum. Let's say you want to sum or you want to count. There's count if. There's sum if. All right, you can use the sum if. So that means you are putting a condition to the sum. Sum if this only thing appear once. Do you understand? Sum if sum column B if column A only appear once. Do you get? So that's you can use a sum if to do that. Number two, you can remove the duplicate first before you sum. So that's data cleaning, removing duplicates. Do you get it?
Okay, sir. So how do you remove the duplicate when you cannot go through, like if you're having like a thousand list of names, like up to 1,000, you cannot be going through one by one like that. How can you just
you will remove it. We are getting to the class, right? We were just started. You will remove it. Whether it's 1 million rows on it, you remove duplicate. All right, you remove duplicate, and we have tools like Power Query. That's why it's called Power Query. Just think about that word power query. So just imagine what power can do, right? Power Query will be able to do all these things here. So yes, it will be done.
All right, yeah, you for them. All right, thank you so much, sir.
All right. All right. If you have not dropped your name on the chat, please kindly do that. Your full name. That's it. Okay, take your attendance. And if you're a team lead here, please, I will need the attendance of your team members who attended the class posted on the page. All right. So that's we're able to track those who attended. Is that okay?
Yes, sir. It's okay.
All right.